Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2. You are live. We are live. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the Perfect Timing Podcast. You lucky you made it. We live. Double tap hit the like button. Man. You know what it is, man. Trump news. Giving Democrats the boo-hoo blues. Double tap hit the like button as you come on in. You know it's Thursday, man. And you know Thursdays is hot like fire. And we got a fire podcast for you today on Thursday on Perfect Timing Podcast. Back with the blast, in and out with a dash. 2026, Trump 2026, JD 2028. Let's go, make it great, baby. Everybody come on in. Come on, baby, come on. Come on. Double tap hit the like button as you come in. Wipe your feet. You know what to do. Be so neat. Come on in, man. Perfect Timing Podcast, man. Going in live from the Perfect Timing Podcast studios, man. Double tap hit the like button. How everybody doing this morning, man? Come on in, man. Another Fire Thursday, man. Another Fire Thursday show, man. We're going to fire it up real fast, man. Donald Trump news, giving Democrats the boo-hoo blues. Another fire day. Brand new reports, brand new deals, brand new. People were saying this, people were saying that. Oh, I don't think they really understood the geopolitical ramifications of what was going on, but Trump came back from Davos with the bag. I said Trump came back from Davos with the bag, and he is the bag man. Can I get hashtag bag man? Hashtag bag man. Yeah, man. Put Gavin Newsom on a timeout. Did you see Gavin Newsom in the corner, man? Double tap at the like button, man. Where you at, man? You at the Perfect Timing Podcast, man. Put Gavin Newsom on a timeout, man. He in the corner. Stephen A. Smith, man. Stephen A. Hey, I told you they watching this chat. W chat. I told you they watching this chat. W chat. I told you they watching this. Did you hear Stephen A. Smith, man? Stephen A. Smith, I took the words out of my mouth like a baby. It's like I'm birthing them. I'm birthing the content. You know what I'm saying? We the birthers. We the creators. You know what I'm saying? We the MAGA deplorables. Double tap hit the like button, all my degenerates, all my MAGA knights, all my deplorables. We birthing the content. We first at everything. People late to the Davos. We knew about Davos before Trump got on the plane. We was chopping up the game plan. We knew we was going there to secure more security, more resources. And what did we do? We came back with more resources. Trump is the bag man. Trump is the bag man and the bag man. Put your hands in the air right now. If you came from MAGA, put your hands in the air. Let them stay there. Trump is the bad man and the bag man. Say we came home with more bases. We came home with more sovereignty. We came home with the oil. I said we keeping the oil in the chat right now. I ain't heard nothing about Venezuela. You know what I got to say about Venezuela? I said we're keeping the oil. Hey, we're keeping the oil in the chat right now. In the chat. Double tap at the like button, man, as you come in, man. I said the only thing I heard about Venezuela lately is that we keeping the oil and that we got millions and billions of dollars in oil coming into the American people, man. How many people watch Landman? Landman is the hottest newest show. Billy Bob Thornton. I put my wife on Landman. She didn't even know Billy Bob Thornton used to be married to Anna Jolie. I'm like, this going to be a good TV show because Billy Bob Thornton is a great actor. So Landman, talking about the oil industry, the dangers of the oil industry. Remember when I said to you about Venezuela and the heavy, dirty crude? We talked about Venezuela, how difficult it's going to be to extract the oil, how expensive it's going to be to refine the dirty crude that's in Venezuela. Remember we talked about that? So if you watch Landman, then maybe everybody, that's going to be your homework assignment. Go watch an episode of Landman so you can understand the difficulties to just not only finding, but extracting and refining oil and what the challenges were and still are in Venezuela, how they will benefit from American help. What are we talking about this morning? We got former prosecutor testifying on Capitol Hill, getting roasted, getting obliterated by MAGA conservative Republicans. Double tap, hit the like button, having to answer questions about all these investigations that turned up nothing. This is what I said about Arctic Frost. This is what I said about James Comey. This is what we want from Comey. This is what we want from the Clintons. The Clintons got to come to the Capitol Hill. Capitol Hill. We need the Clintons on Capitol Hill to testify, answer questions, because he's talking about Mar-a-Lago. He's talking about Trump, which is actually legal. This is why Trump was exonerated for having those documents. But then there's no discussion of the Hillary Clinton server. Who Hillary Clinton was not the president. Hillary Clinton was not I know she's a Clinton. See, this is the problem with the Clintons. This is the problem with the Clintons, that why they got to come to Capitol Hill and answer some questions. See, James Comey, first he said it was a problem with the Hillary. See, how many of you even remember the Hillary Clinton server? How many of you even remember that they said the Hunter Biden laptop was a hoax? Turned out to be true. So true that they had to pardon Hunter Biden with an auto pen. Remember, we talked about the auto pen yesterday. How many people learned about the auto pen? I told you about the auto pen. The auto pen is actually a robot. Donald Trump said yesterday that 95% of what Biden signed was signed by an automatic robot arm. Did you guys know that? He also said that he's going to null and void 95, everything that Biden signed, gone. Trump said yesterday because Biden did not have cognitive abilities and proper management of his own faculties, we can't trust that robotic arm. That's what Trump said. We can't trust that robotic arm. So 95% of those things that were signed by Biden's robotic arm, Trump just threw out yesterday. This is what we're doing. This is what we do. This is what we do. This is what MAGA does. This is what we do, policy, baby. While everybody is complaining, we do policy, baby. We go to Davos. We go to Davos. It was just talk. Remember, it was just talk about Ilhan Omar marrying her brother. That was just talk, right? Now it's an investigation. Remember, it was just talk about Ilhan Omar being worth $30 million. Now it's an investigation. Who brought you those facts? Perfect Time Podcast brought you the fact that her husband, her white husband. Now remember, Ilhan Omar is a Somali Islamic Muslim. Did you guys know that? Ilhan Omar is a Somali Islamic Muslim. They don't marry outside of their race, right? They're very tribal. This is their own definition. This is their own definition. They're very tribal, right? She's married to a white man. This white man was worth $50,000 in 2023. Ilhan Omar, by her own recognition, said she's only worth thousands. She's only worth 50,000. Well, since 2023, they have climbed in wealth over 3,000% to be worth now over $30 million with holdings in wineries and different stocks. Did you guys know that? At the same time as she grew 3,000% in 1 year, there was $19 billion of fraud in Minnesota. How many people knew this? How many people knew these details? Ilhan Omar married her brother? No, you're making that up. See, that's what they said. It was just talk, right? That's what they said. They said we were just talking. Now there's a Homeland DHS investigation into whether or not she's been married 3 or 4 times. We're not sure. We're not sure. We know she's married to a white man now. She's been married several times before. One of them may be her brother, that she got citizenship. We're investigating that. But what we do know for a fact, because she had to disclose on the IRS sheet, is that she's worth $30 million and she was only worth $50,000 in 2020. We know that for a fact. We know that. That's what we know. That's what we're talking about this morning. I don't know what you're talking about this morning, but we're talking about a MAGA hot Thursday. A MAGA hot Thursday. That's what we do on Thursday. Hot like fire. Double tap at the like button. A MAGA hot Thursday. You understand what I'm saying? See, the reason I'm laying the foundation, because it was just talk. See, they did Greenland. It was just talk. Remember, it was rhetoric. It was Trump. The Gulf of America was just talk. Do you guys recall? Double tap at the like button. Fire podcast today. Fire podcast today. Double tap at the like button. The Gulf of America was just talk. They said, no, they're not going to change the name. It's the Gulf of Mexico. They can't do that. The Department of War was just talk. No, they're not going to take that. Getting rid of the Department of Education was just, the Department of Education is gone. It's now the Department of War. It's now the Gulf of America. And we just came home with the Greenland bag. Double tap at the like button. We just came home with the Greenland bag. Can you say it right now? Greenland. We just came home with the Greenland bag at Davos. It was just talk. The investigations was just talk. Now we got testimony from Jack Smith getting ridiculed on Capitol Hill. It was just talk. Remember? Not anymore. It's all factual, actual. Get down to the Capitol. Get your butt down to the Capitol. Where we gonna go first? Where we gonna go first, man? We having a good time, man. We are having a good time, man. Double tap at the like button. Perfect Timing Podcast. Back with the blast. In and out with a dash. How's everybody doing this morning, man? Non-stop Trump wins. I'm your host, riding the polar bear of MAGA, day one of 2026 trending. Jack Smith testifies, gets roasted harder than liberals at a barbecue. Jim Jordan, you violated everything. Smith B, not partisan loyalties. Bro, your whole case was partisan tears. Check out the Trump tweets. Decimated. Evidence of crimes still waiting since 2016. Trump willfully existed wrong. You're the criminal. Witch hunt over. Polar bear justice incoming. Double tap hit the like button, man. Double tap hit the like button, man. We got Jack Smith on Capitol Hill getting roasted. We got Stephen A. Smith in my back pocket, man. Stephen A. Smith, what they say, get out of my back pocket, man. Stephen A. Smith in my back pocket, man. We got brand new reports that the economy, the Trump economy is doing better than we ever thought before. The Trump economy is doing better than we ever thought before. We got J.D. Vance looking presidential. Double tap at the like button. We got J.D. Vance looking presidential, giving presidential. He know it's 2026. He know it's 2026. You know what I'm saying? He know it's 2026 and we in the mix. You know what I'm saying? Right? We got arrest. We got Don Lemon. Don Lemon needs to be fearing his arrest. And how many people knew that we caught it here with the FACE Act, right? We caught it here with the FACE Act. Shout out to Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi announced today that there is actually there's arrest that took place, right? So the organizer, hold on. The organizer of the Don Lemon debacle has been arrested by the Pam Bondi DOJ, right? The Pam Bondi DOJ has arrested the organizer of the Don Lemon church debacle, and I believe Don Lemon indictment is coming. Double tap at the like button, everybody. Welcome to the Perfect Timing Podcast, man. We having a good time this morning. I believe Don Lemon indictment is coming, man. Don Lemon, and I got new video of Don Lemon harassing people outside. Sanctuary. You got sanctuary cities for the liberals and the Democrats, but sanctuaries also apply to churches, right? Right? People have sanctuary, and Don Lemon violated that sanctuary. Don Lemon violated that sanctuary. In my opinion, I'm just giving my opinion today. I can't say that verbatim. That's going to be up to a judge. So allegedly, in my opinion, I think Don Lemon, thank you to my chat, W chat. I think Don Lemon most definitely violated. Double tap at the like button. I think Don Lemon most definitely violated when he entered the sanctuary, and I think I want to commend Pam Bondi for the prosecution. And I think let's look at this other video. I don't know if you guys seen this other video. It's actually embarrassing. It's actually embarrassing that he thought that he was justified in taking these actions, and he hasn't been held accountable yet. But thank God that Trump is in office, and thank God that because Trump is in office, he will be held accountable for his actions. But it's just absolutely despicable. It's absolutely despicable. He said he was doing this, and then he kept saying, I'm a journalist. I'm a journalist. Like, the people on like we talked about this. This is democracy being spit upon, right? Simply because you're a journalist does not give you the right to violate other people's rights. So yesterday, everybody knew about this, right? Top trending story. Don Lemon, Minnesota Ice Watch, goes into a church and ruins the sanctity and sanctuary that while they are worshiping, right? I mean, literally, dirty money in the building. What's up with you, baby? Double tap hit that like button, man. Hey, literally interrupts Sunday church, right? And the pastors, we played the video, pastors absolutely shocked and surprised because, like I said yesterday, why are white people so upset? I saw another reporter stealing words right out of my mouth, saying the same thing. He didn't understand why the white people are upset. Why are you going into a church, stopping people from praying and worshiping? What does this have to do with Minnesota ICE? What does this have to do with Somalian $19 billion fraud? Ilhan Omar marrying her brother, now being worth $30 million. All the corruption from Tim Walz stepping down from governor. Tim Walz literally has stepped down from governor. How does interrupting people praying on a Sunday stop Tim Walz? Tim Walz stepped down weeks ago. So why would you interrupt? He's already stepped down. We've already arrested 100 people for the fraud. Over 100 people, $19 billion, feeding our future, over $250 million. It's confusing. Let's play the video. So you saw the video of Don Lemon accosting the pastor, right? Now this is Don Lemon, that he did not leave the church. I don't know if you've seen this. This is the first time, breaking news. Don Lemon outside of the church, right? Let's put up a banner so people know what. Let's create this banner real quick. Don Lemon. What's his name? Don Lemon. Is that his name? Don Lemon, you know what I'm saying? Is that his name? I don't know what his name is. Hit the like button, double tap with the like button, man. Don Lemon, you know what I'm saying? And outside of the church, right? First time a podcast with the blast. First time, breaking news. Y'all let me know in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you think Don Lemon also should be arrested. After this, we're going to go to the reports of Pam Bondi and the prosecution of the person who organized the event. I want to know from you. Put a 1 in the chat right now. Should Don Lemon also face prosecution?
What do you think of this? I'm a Christian here that wants to praise the Lord with my son, and now I got to go home. I'm sorry that you guys are so angry.
I'm just chronicling. I'm not with the group.
What do I have to say?
Can you understand why they're angry?
I don't understand any of this because I'm a simple man. I'm a simple man who loves the Lord and is a good father. This is what we look forward to, is coming, being with our family and praising Jesus. And that's not something that we have to run away from. So this is kind of a bad day for us. But, we're going to heaven. So that's the best news we got.
Do you understand that some of these folks feel voiceless?
I don't understand because right now I'm so upset right now. I don't really have I'm thirsty and I can't think very clearly. So what I want to do is just say, we love you. My son and I love you guys. And
I'm a journalist. They're activists.
The simplest thing we can say is that we love you guys.
What I want to say right now to everybody watching is I love you too. And, I share the sentiment of this brother right here, and I want to say I love this brother right here. I want to say thank you to everybody watching, and let's have some unity and respect in the chat. I would hope that we spread that love and the sentiment of this brother right here throughout the chat and throughout your day. I just want to say that.
What do you mean, you guys?
Well, whoever's here in this house.
Okay.
We don't distinguish between Christian and non-Christian. We love everyone, and we want everyone to come to heaven.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. We want folks to go to heaven. And if we need to talk about these things, then, this isn't the time for that, really.
But don't you think until we go to heaven, if you believe in that there should be some sort of peace here on earth and that people should have agency and we shouldn't be beating people up off the street and we should be abiding by the Constitution?
I think that's just a little bit loaded for me right now, what you're doing.
Why so?
Well, I don't want to interview right now.
Thank you, brother. Hold on. Thank you. He said that's a little bit loaded for me right now. Thank you so much. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. I love you. I love you. I love everybody watching, man. Thank you, brother. He said, I don't want to do an interview. I got up Sunday morning with my son I had a different mission this morning. And you guys are interrupting this mission. And I'm American. I have the right to fulfill what I woke up this morning to do, as long as legally within the law. and you are prohibiting that. He said, that's loaded. I don't want to do an interview. Let's listen to that right now. He told him, I love you. Man, I'm getting emotional, you guys. Listen to this. Don Lemon, outside of the church. My chat already told me what the FACE Act was. We looked up the FACE Act. My chat said the FACE Act in 1994 or 1996, put it in the chat right now. It protects people when they are at religious events, and it says you have a right to not only attend, but you have a right to praise without interruption. It literally says that in the law. It literally says that you have and it makes sense when you think about the Bill of Rights in our Constitution. When we talk about the freedom of speech and the freedom of religion, wouldn't it make sense that along with that, in the country that has a law, a constitutional right that says freedom of religion, wouldn't it also make sense that you would have the ability to practice that? Not only that they say you have the freedom of religion, but we're going to protect, like every other right, that we're going to protect your ability to go ahead and manifest that. Now, this Don Lemon, we saw him inside the church. We saw Don Lemon and 100 protesters inside the church interrupting their sanctuary for someone else's sanctuary who are not citizens, who don't have the same rights to the freedom of religion. Even if bestowed upon them by God, they don't have them via the Constitution. That's just my opinion. Now, Don Lemon interrupts service, tries to interview the pastor. The pastor asks him to leave unless you're going to worship. And then Don Lemon does not leave. Now we see Don Lemon outside stopping parishioners as they attempt to leave their cars and trying to ask loaded questions for clicks, for sound bites. Put a one in the chat right now if you think Don Lemon, what is your opinion right now this morning? Put a one in the chat if you think Don Lemon should face some type of retribution for what he did on that day. It may not have to be legal. It may be in another form or fashion. But how many people knew that after the pastor asked him to leave, he didn't leave? The man, look at this. The brother got his hands up. He has his hands up. He has his hands up like, Don Lemon, let me walk out. And Don Lemon did not.
You think of it? A harmless Christian here that wants to praise the Lord with my son, and now I got to go home. I'm sorry that you guys are so angry.
I got my hands up. I'm just a harmless individual, and now I'm forced to go home. I'm sorry you guys are so angry, and still he can't pass. And still he can't pass. For anybody saying, what's the FACE Act? Don Lemon didn't do anything. Don Lemon is a journalist. Him being a journalist does not supersede. See, that's what happened in that last administration. See, the last administration said certain people's rights superseded your rights. They created things like DEI, critical race theory, and they said other people's rights superseded your. They said that certain individuals' rights superseded women's rights. My daughter's rights, our wives' rights to be able to go to the restroom in safety. No, other people's right that's not how America works, ladies and gentlemen. See, that's what the confusion is. That's what the confusion is with these liberals and these Dems. They think and that's a monarchy. That's not democracy. I say it all the time. They got it confused. This is why Republicans is not protesting and burning up Teslas, because they have it confused about what a democracy is. See, if you only want your point of view, then you really want a monarchy. You don't understand democracy and freedom. If you think your rights are superior to other people's rights, you are headed for a dark day. And this is what I've been saying. This is what Gen X been saying. We've been trying to educate these people, these purple-haired protesters. If you think your rights supersede other people's rights, that is authoritarianism. And you need to stop pointing a finger at the orange man and take a look at the man in the mirror. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to make a change. Y'all don't understand what y'all doing in the future y'all creating for yourself. I got to live in a great country. Y'all, this is the thing. I got educated in a great country. I didn't have those same pressures. Do you know the children today are dumber? Every generation has been smarter, not your generation. Your generation is dumber than the generation before you. I got a great education. I had a great American life. I had a car at 14. I had my license at 16. I had a girlfriend. You understand? I lived the great American dream. We are the champions, my friend, and we will keep fighting to the end. We are the champions, no time for losers. I had a great life. But you won't get the experience. We are the champions, my friend. And we'll keep on fighting to the end. Y'all not going to experience it. Y'all don't understand Greenland. Y'all don't understand Venezuela because y'all never sang the song. We are the champions. No time for Denmark. No time for Macron. Fuck France because we are the champions. In the chat right now. Say it to France. Say it to Denmark. Say it to NATO. Of the world. MAGA, MAGA, MAGA. Woo! Hot like fire Thursday. Hot like fire Thursday. Hot like fire Thursday. Double tap at the like button. Number one number one podcast on YouTube. Let's go to Don Lemon getting himself into another hot balling pot of water.
You think of
Mr. Harmless Christian here that wants to praise the Lord with my son, and now I got to go home. I'm sorry that you guys are so angry.
I'm just chronicling. I'm not with the group.
Oh, what do I have to say?
Can you understand why they're?
I'm not with the group. Don Lemon, I wonder if a judge will agree. I wonder would a judge absolve Don Lemon, right? Simply because he's this black. I think he thinks he's still in the Biden administration, where just because he was black in a certain persuasion, he would get absolved, right, from anything that he did, right? He just keeps saying it. Like they say, I'm a PhD. I'm a PhD. I'm a journalist. I'm not with the group. You're interrupting the pastor. You're with the protesters. You're in the sanctuary. You're literally stopping the pastor from getting the place in control. Now you're outside stopping parishioners from leaving. And the first thing Don Lemon says, I'm not with Put a one in the chat if you think Don Lemon is with the group.
I'm sorry that you guys are so angry.
I'm just chronicling. I'm not with the group.
Oh,
put a one in the chat. Don Lemon said he's not with the group. Don Lemon said he's not with the group. Put a one in the chat if you think Don Lemon is not with the group. This is Don Lemon outside of the church. A lot of you heard about, saw the viral video. Don Lemon and protesters interrupted church on Sunday in Minnesota Ice Watch. I still don't know why it happened, but that's what we're watching. The video of Don Lemon. Now we saw him interrupt the pastor. Now Don Lemon never left. Now he's outside harassing parishioners as they try to leave.
Oh, what do I have to say?
Can you understand why they're angry?
I don't understand any of this because I'm a simple man. I'm a simple man who loves the Lord and is a good father. This is what we look forward to, is coming, being with our family and praising Jesus. And that's not something that we have to run away from.
He said, I don't understand. I don't understand. I'm a simple man. Why is this happening?
So this is kind of a bad day for us. But, we're going to heaven, so that's the best news we got.
Do you understand that some of these folks feel voiceless?
I don't understand, because right now I'm so upset right now. I don't really have I'm thirsty, and I can't think very clearly. So what I want.
He has no perspective. He has no empathy on where he's coming from as a father. None at all.
What I do is just say, we love you. My son and I love you guys. And that's.
I'm a journalist. They're activists.
I love you too, brother. And Don Lemon again think he's absolved from harassing this man and interrupting this service because he's a journalist. Put a one in the chat if you think Don Lemon has to pay a penalty.
Simplest thing we can say is that we love you guys.
What do you mean, you guys?
Well, whoever's here in this house.
Okay.
That was another loaded question. He's trying to get clickable moments, and it's disgusting.
We don't distinguish between Christian and non-Christian. We love everyone, and we want everyone to come to heaven.
Yeah.
See, Don Lemon is disappointed when he didn't give him what he wanted. He wanted a viral moment. He wanted a soundbite.
That's the main thing. We want folks to go to heaven. And if we need to talk about these things, then, this isn't the time for that.
How many people agree? What an educated and blessed brother, man. Give him his props in the chat. This brother, very educated, very calm, cool, and collected, and on point. He said, you know, I love you, I respect you. I even respect your ability to disagree and want to disagree and want to discuss these things, but it's not the time now. You don't interrupt service. And I totally agree. Put a one in the chat if you agree with this brother, that yes, you guys have a right to protest. You guys have a right to disagree. I agree with that. And I agree we should discuss it. Not now. Not now.
Really, I mean,
but don't you think until we go to heaven, or if you believe in that, that there should be some sort of peace here on earth, and that people should have agency, and we shouldn't be beating people up off the street, and we should be abiding by the Constitution?
I think that's just a little bit loaded for me right now.
That's a little bit loaded. I want to put it, y'all, I think that's a little bit loaded. Call Don Lemon out. I think everybody in the chat should be very proud. Call Don Lemon out to the carpet. That is loaded. That is a little bit loaded right now. Call Don Lemon out to the carpet.
Good for me right now. What you're doing?
Why so?
Well, I don't want to interview right now. I don't want to interview. I just want to tell you guys I love you. I don't need to interview right now because I want to be with my son. It's Sunday. It's time for rest and for renewal. I would like to answer your question. I just can't right now.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
Wow. How disgusting. Look at you. You should be ashamed of yourself. Put a one in the chat, man. If you think Don Lemon should be held accountable for his actions, man, you should be ashamed of yourself. Absolutely ashamed of yourself, man. I can't believe this guy, man. I'm so happy Elon fired this guy, man. So what in the same vein, what we talking about this morning, as we get into the Don Lemon debacle and Minnesota ICE, now you understand what happened with Renee Good. I've been explaining to everybody what happened with Renee Good. J.D. Vance himself, we're going to play the tape from J.D. Vance, where he talked about how did someone like this mother of 3 children, did you know Renee Good had 3 children? She lost 2 in a divorce. They're almost adult children, and they haven't came out and made a video and benefited of their mother. Y'all got to take note of that. Most kids in this day and age, 15, 17, if there was something to say about Renee Good, they would have said it. You ain't heard nothing. And then there was a 6-year-old. At the 6-year-old school in Minneapolis is where Renee Good, thanks to Becca Good, got radicalized by a Minnesota Ice Watch group where flyers were handed out and a Zoom call was organized via the school. The school says in its charter that the school teaches the students to be politically active. When you saw high school students walking out in Minneapolis, you got to understand the liberal ideology that's being cultivated in these sanctuary cities. I know a lot of us don't know. A lot of us are going to be surprised when we hear some of these things. We think these things are organic, right? We think they're spontaneous because that's part of the agenda, to make people think that somehow white people got inspired to stop Somalian fraud. And they want us to play sleep, right? Here goes another white woman. So the organizer of the Don Lemon event has been arrested by Pam Bondi's DOJ. Double tap, hit the like button, everybody. Double tap, hit the like button. I said the organizer of the event has been arrested by the Pam Bondi DOJ. So now we got Pam Bondi. Everybody been waiting for Pam. I love Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi been doing her one too. Hashtag Pam Bondi in the chat. So we got Pam Bondi with 6 prosecutors stepping down. And did you guys know that she got prosecutions or subpoenas, investigations to Mayor Jacob Fry and Tim Walz? I reported that yesterday. The DOJ is going after 6 officials in Minneapolis, Minnesota, that's coordinated along with the fraud and the Minnesota Ice Watch protest. That's Pam Bondi right now. For everybody want Pam Bondi to do something, Pam Bondi getting down with the 1-2. Pam Bondi getting down with the 1-2. So outside of Pam Bondi in those 6 prosecutions, including Jacob Fry and Tim Walz, right? And the lead prosecutor. Now, why was the lead I reported here, but I gotta give the credit to my chat. I gotta give the credit to my chat, because my chat pointed out the fact that Becca Good said, "Drive, baby, drive." Now, Becca Good told Renee Good to run over a federal officer. And my chat pointed out the fact that if the law goes correctly, the local authorities should prosecute Becca Good and charge her with the murder of Renee Good for aiding and abetting, right? Me and my chat discussed it. We looked up the law. We didn't think it would happen, right? And next thing you know, Pam Bondi and the Trump DOJ goes after the prosecution for not arresting Becca Good. And next thing you know, the prosecutor steps down. I reported the story here. They stepped down amidst pressure from the Pam Bondi DOJ to prosecute Becca Good. But we all watched the video. We heard Becca Good say, "Drive, baby, drive." It's like Don Lemon. Do we just say, okay, because Renee Good died in the commission of a crime, when the police officer said, "Don't move, get out the car," she put the car in reverse, and then I don't know why she put the car in drive. I know a lot of people want to absolve her for putting the car in drive simply because she turned the wheels. She never should have put the car in reverse. But be that as it may, her wife said, "Drive, baby, drive." Do we ignore all of these things because she died? God bless and God rest her soul. God bless Renee Good and God rest her soul. But do we ignore all these things because she died? That's not the way the law works, sadly. I know a lot of liberal purple protesters want the law to work that way. That's not the way the law works. She was in commission of a crime. And if that is a fact, that means Becca Good can be implicated in that crime for saying drive. It's like somebody saying pull a trigger. It's like somebody saying go do it. It's like somebody, you understand what I'm saying? That person can be implicated in the crime if there's an injury. You told them to do it. You came here with them. You are in concert. Has anybody ever heard that term before? You are in concert, co-defendant. You two worked in concert. Were they not working in concert when they were blocking the ICE agents? She tried to get back in the car. When she couldn't get back in the car, she said, "Drive, baby, drive." I'm just pointing out how stomped down Pam Bondi, Donald Trump, DOJ has been moving in the Minnesota ICE debacle. And now, after Don Lemon, we just played the video, Don Lemon interrupted with protesters, accosted the pastor, and then he didn't leave. He was outside blocking parishioners trying to get a soundbite. That's the most disgusting thing about it. Don Lemon didn't really care. Remember when people remember the MAGA, shout out to all my MAGA deplorables, we kept saying they don't care about the victims. In my chat, the trolls love to say, "Show me the files, show me the files." And so many women finally came out and said, the Democrats don't care about the victims. The Democrats don't care. They're just using it. And they're doing the same thing again. The Democrats don't care about you. They don't care about your finances. That's why they never rose the minimum wage from $7.25. They don't care about your rights. Don Lemon don't care about your ability and your right to worship. Your right by the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Your freedom as an American. They want to step on democracy. But Pam Bondi, DOJ, and Trump is saying no today. Double tap it.
Believing her testimony, say what she's saying, she's looking at 30 years. She's very involved with this. The danger for the people she's talking about, Waltz, Fry, Ellison, and others, is the fact that she can serve as a pointer. Whether we choose to believe her or not, it comes down to, will a grand jury, or ultimately, if it goes to trial, a petit jury, a jury of her peers, 12 people, potentially believing her testimony relative to these other people. But when you have somebody like this that was on the inside, we always called it in intelligence a pointer. She's there to tell you, as you go through a mountain of emails, a mountain of communications, which we know they serve subpoenas to get, those subpoenas for documents, right, including electronic documents. As you ferret through a mountain of stuff, if you have a quote-unquote pointer to say, no, forget about that, look over here, saves you a lot of time. It helps focus the investigation. And sure, they might have to cut a deal so that she has less time in order to testify and all of that. But that's how cases are made. Anybody who's ever seen a mafia movie knows that.
It seems like a weak defense. I kept asking, they kept giving, and it's their fault, not mine.
She's not getting out of that.
By the way, 250 million stolen allegedly. About 75 million has been recovered. So there's a lot of money out there that someone has illegally. Now, we got some breaking news, Paul. I want to get to that on a Fox News alert, because moments ago, remember that church incident on Sunday in Minneapolis? The AG Pam Bondi posted this, all right? I'm reading now. Minutes ago, at my direction, HSI and FBI agents executed an arrest in Minnesota. So far, we've arrested So far, okay, we'll come back to that. So far, we have arrested Nikema Levy Armstrong, who allegedly played a key role in organizing the coordinated attack on City's Church in St. Paul. Minnesota. We will share more updates as they become available. Listen loud and clear. We do not tolerate attacks on places of worship, end quote. I want you to react to that, Paul. But on Monday, Tricia McLaughlin was on with Dana and me. And part of her answer said, I think we will be seeing mugshots very soon. She was tipping her hand that arrests were on the way, and this is the first one that's been made.
Yeah, and look, there's going to be very, very little that they can do in defense of this because it's on film, and for once they didn't cover their faces. Now here is the thing that's going to come out of this. You have her under arrest. Now you're going to get the communications. And this is where it starts to spider web out. You start to see who was talking to who showed up in regard, including Don Lemon. How much did they all know going in? That imports things like conspiracy charges, which can be quite heavy. There's criminal civil rights charges that are implicated in the church incident.
This is also because one of the things that we found out about that was that they were targeting them because they were privileged white supremacists.
We talked about that earlier in the week. Not only did that come out in the video and that they said something like that in the church, but then after the fact, Lemon talks about exactly that, putting a racial overtone in the whole thing, which potentially could import a hate crime. So this
There's
was
another
really
thing
badly
about this.
done.
The woman that they've just arrested, I talked a little bit about this on the 5 yesterday because Cam Cawthorn, he writes for Fox Digital, and he had a piece about her. So she's been doing professional protesting and organizing for a long time. She gets a lot of grants from different nonprofits, and she's always made more money than she has spent. So like there's a financial incentive for her. There's a business.
So double tap, hit the like button. Double tap, hit the like button. Double tap, breaking news right here on the Perfect Timing Podcast. Arrest made in the Don Lemon church debacle. The person arrested right now reported is Nikema Levy Armstrong, involved in disruptions at City Church St. Paul, former president for NAACP Minneapolis, former professor of law, University of St. Thomas School of Law, advisor to Black Lives Matter, BLM. Ding. I knew she looked familiar. And that means who is behind it. We already know who paying for it now. Ding. Now, I was going to say, what is her self doing there? Don't make no sense. It ain't got nothing to do with you. The Somalian fraud, the immigrants, the ICE ain't got nothing to do with you. Why are you organizing? She being paid. I would not. I bet dollars to donuts she was a Black Lives Matter organizer. And here it is. Ding. Advisor. Red flag. What else does it say here? Charged with multiple misdemeanors related to participation in 2014 BLM protests. Why is she free? Why is she free to commit more crimes and havoc? And what did they say? Now, doesn't it make more sense now? Because I've been asking this whole morning, why did they go to a church? I don't understand, but what did BLM say? Does anybody remember? I've been saying this every day. Double tap at the like button. Number one podcast on YouTube. Double tap at the like button. I've been saying this. I said, what did they say to us? They said they're trained Marxists. Didn't they say that? Didn't you hear Jasmine Crockett say similar terminology? Trained Marxists. Didn't BLM say that? So when they go into a church, doesn't it make more sense now? Because I know a lot of you are asking, what's the significance? Why go into a church? Why orchestrate this type of protest and bring Don Lemon with you? What style I've never seen this style in civil rights. We didn't see this style of protest. I've never seen this style of protest. Have any of you seen this style? It's similar to Jasmine Crockett getting on a jet plane and leaving Texas. How many people thought that was extremely odd, right? I said, why doesn't she build constituency? It would have helped her in this particular campaign because she's up for re-election right now. She says she's not running for Congress again. She want to run for Senate. Well, that's going to fail. Texas hasn't sent a Democrat to the Senate in over 30 years. But why do it, right? Why get on the plane? And who told her that was a viable solution to Greg Abbott redistricting based on the demographic change in Texas. Do you know what I noticed about those 5 seats, Jasmine Crockett in Texas? There's no complaining. There's no complaining in Texas. No one is making TikTok because we have this great freedom now in America. We have this great freedom where we can make videos and TikTok. And if people were upset about those 5 seats and Jasmine Crockett not being able to run for Congressional District 33 in South Dallas, you would hear about it. You ain't heard about it. So who gave her the idea to leave? You know why I bring it up? Because when she got on the plane and she left the state, it stopped government. So I'm asking, what kind of tactic is this? It's never been done in politics before. Nobody ever would do it. I'm not going to interject race because that's too much what the Democrat would do, even though I really have a desire to interject race. I'm not going to do it. But no one has ever done this before in politics. Got on the plane, left the state, and left her seat so that government basically shut down in Texas. Greg Abbott said there were flood victims who were waiting on a vote. And when Jasmine Crockett left Texas, they couldn't vote. And he started to find, and then she took people with her. I said she should have been prosecuted. How many put a 1 in the chat if Jasmine Crockett should have been prosecuted? Just like this person should be prosecuted. I said she not only left Texas, she took other duly elected officials with her. She stopped government. She stopped democracy. She stopped the vote. That's anti-American. She should have been brought up on sedition charges. Instead, she thinks she gets to be promoted to the Senate. What if you don't get your way in the Senate, Jasmine Crockett? What if you don't get your way in the Senate? Will you just leave? Think about what I'm saying. So when I talk, I'm bringing this up because we are looking and we are in a different era of American politics. We are in a different era of American politics when you have individuals interrupting church when they know. I knew they knew what they were doing. Now we know who she is. Now we know it was a design. These are Marxist tactics. Just like Jasmine Crockett getting on the plane. Just like BLM. And what did BLM do at the end? They bought $1 million mansions. She has a law degree. She has a law degree. She was a law professor. Her life is on Easy Street. What the hell is she doing, ladies and gentlemen? She's a paid agitator.
Business model for these types of things.
We've talked about this really since I've been on the network. One of the things that I've tried to sort of bang the gong on that I think a lot of police who do investigations see that the public doesn't see is that there is a job, career protester. And it is developed over the last, let's say, dozen years or so into a very lucrative industry. And you have people who do this for a living, make a ton of money.
Yes.
They weaponize people who don't know any better. And to use the Leninist term, useful idiots. They're looking for any cause in the world. They get them out of the campuses. They grow those groups and those institutions. And then they pick out people who want to stay in that world, who don't go back to East Cupcake and get a job eventually after college. They stay in that. They become the middle management, and it grows and it grows. It's very much like any other industry. The problem with it is if you dig down deep enough, you find out that there's tax money going into all of this stuff.
Yeah. Keep in mind, she said so far, so that would indicate more to come.
There's more coming.
Thank you. I mean, trespassing at a minimum. I mean, you were not invited in. That's not your property.
At the state level, where's the minute? Well, by the way, this is St. Paul. Where's the St. Paul chief of police?
Fair point.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox.
So what y'all think about that, man? So now we got prosecution. We got prosecution happening in Minneapolis. And I think Don Lemon prosecution is coming. Double tap at the like button. I think Don Lemon is next. How many people think Don Lemon is next? I think Don Lemon is next. Double tap at the like button, everybody. We having a good show today. Double tap at the like button, man. How's everybody doing today, man? Double tap at the like button. How's everybody doing today? Having a good day, man. Having a good day, man. Thursday's hot like fire. Don Lemon, I think he should be implicated too. I think he should be implicated too. I think he should be implicated too. But, you know, how y'all doing this morning? We're going to go into our next story here. We're going to go into our next story. How's everybody doing? I think Don Lemon should be arrested. Let's see what happened. Let's see what happened. Let's see what happened. Yeah, he should get. Not a journalist. Chill out. Salute, 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 salute. Salute everybody. Salute everybody. What else we got next, man, on Pam Bondi? Since we was on Pam Bondi, before we get to Jack Smith and the economy, I got a video for us right here. I got some for us right here. Some.
All of that. And it took for this last election for me to have to sit down and do some real research and find out, like, who am I truly going to vote for and why? And it wasn't until a year ago, maybe a little over a year ago, that I realized they've been lying to us this whole time. We've been getting screwed this whole time. And the devastation that I felt, I cannot put into words. It was as if I was in a marriage with someone for 30 plus years. And I come to find out that they don't even love me. They got a whole new family of immigrants that they care about more. And they're only using me for my money. I am their slave. And if I choose to leave them and go over here to these red folks, then they're going to try to make my life a living hell. Being a Democrat is like being in a very toxic and abusive relationship. And I just pray that more and more of my people get out of that toxic and abusive relationship and conform to the true conservative values that you were raised with. We were raised with these values. Man and woman should be married. You don't just go out here and keep on getting pregnant by everybody just because you can kill them. Your body is sacred. You love and you worship God. And you respect the house of the Lord. We all know that. All of these things, family first, family, God, faith, all that's first. All of these things were taught to us as we were being raised, in regards to who raised us or how we were being raised. This is what has been bred into us. So for the Democratic Party to try to make us accept all this other nonsense, like kids being able to transition and taking the Bible out of the prayer out of schools and all of this nonsense, you got to take the jab if you want to work. No, we were not raised like that. That is not part of who we are. If we truly want to return to who we are, you got to get over there with them conservatives, because that's where it's at. That's who we truly are. And they love us over there.
Thank you for that. I just wanted to share that with y'all real quick. So we're not the only people out here getting the job done who feel this way. You know what I'm saying? We're not the only people out here. There's other people out here who share the same sentiment. Double tap at the like button, man. Like-minded individuals, man. Like-minded individuals, man. Double tap at the like button. Perfect Summer Podcast with the Blast. Moving through. How's everybody doing on this Thursday? Hot like fire. Yeah, man, we having a good time, man. Let's go to JD Vance, man. JD Vance visit Minneapolis to support ICE amid immigration raid tensions. Vice President JD Vance is heading to Minneapolis to back ICE against the operation. Did y'all hear about this? Did y'all hear about J.D. Vance in Minneapolis? We're going to go to some video, talk about it real quick. J.D. Vance, he's back in ICE in Operation Metro Surge, the largest deportation effort ever in the Twin Cities, targeting criminals with final orders in the Somali community. Remember where you heard that first about the deportation orders. Controversies include 23-year-old Nasir Ahmed's allegations of being wrongly detained, beaten and called the N-word, and the detention of a 5-year-old Liam Ramos Conjure after the school to reach his father. Protest doxing of agents. Debates over leaked memo authorizing home entries have escalated, with Attorney General Pam Bondi warning of charges for leaks, and Minnesota officials affirming cooperation. Homeland Security said if an illegal has a final deportation order, ding, 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 ding. I've been saying, how long we've been saying, man, breaking this down so people don't be upset, don't be out there protesting ICE, don't be out there harassing people. I said ICE has a targeted aim. They're going after criminals. That's why we can say 80% of who they arrested are criminals. This Homeland Security right here telling you what, and I said deportation orders, and I broke down to you where the list comes from, how we could be certain about the 600,000 that's been deported, about 80,000 of them being criminals. It's because they're on a list and they have what are called deportation orders. I know a lot of you thought it was just conjecture when I've been saying it, but here's just more proof from the .gov, DHS.gov. You feel what I'm saying? Hit the like button, everybody. Double tap, hit the like button. Let's get into it. If an illegal alien has a final deportation order from an immigration judge and they refuse to leave, they are a fugitive from justice. In every case, we serve an administrative warrant. There's probable cause, and the illegal alien has had full due process and final order of removal. How many times have I said that? Double tap at the like button. How many times have I said that? And they have had fine. So remember all that about they didn't get to see a judge. They don't have right. You notice you don't hear that anymore, right? You notice you don't hear that anymore. All this stuff. Remember in the beginning, Judge Trump is not the rights. And they seen a judge. Not only have they seen a judge, they seen an immigration judge, and they've been given a deport. The problem is Biden didn't do the damn job and allowed them to remain in the country. That's how we get 5,000 arrests in a day, because we got a list. Every illegal who DHS serves administrative warrants / I-205s have full due process and a final order of removal from an immigration judge. Didn't we just say that? Administrative warrants have been used for decades. And the Supreme Court, didn't we say Obama deported more people? Ding, ding, ding. Didn't we say Obama deported more people? Supreme Court and Congress have recognized the property of administrative warrants in cases, the propriety of administrative warrants in cases of immigration enforcement. That's from the AP. Breaking immigration officers are asserting sweeping power to enter homes with warrant. Memo by AP. Because y'all remember the other day they said you can't go in the house, right? Remember they said the other day you can't go in the house. So just giving more news, man. We out here supporting. And they got some people saying some fake allegations. Received a copy of internal. So check this out. CBS says they received a copy of an internal ICE memo authorizing federal agents to forcibly enter homes in Minnesota. That's what they were talking about above. They conveniently leave out that the internal ICE memo says this is for illegals with deportation orders only. Ain't that what was said up here? Ain't that what Homeland Security said? That if you have deportation order, it don't matter. We coming in the house. Because you are a criminal.
New developments in the.
Let's go to the report right now. This is how people getting hurt, because they leave out information, and then people hear these reports, don't know the whole truth, nothing but the truth, and then they fight these federal officers, and then people get hurt.
Trump administration's immigration crackdown. Late today, we received a copy of an internal ICE memo authorizing federal agents to forcibly enter homes without a warrant from a judge. The directive was provided to Congress by whistleblowers who say this goes against standard training in the Department of Homeland Security. Tonight, Nicole Skanga has new reporting on how immigrants in Minnesota are responding to what's happening there.
In St. Paul, Minnesota's Hmong Village, empty stalls line a once busy marketplace.
On a normal day, all of these stalls would be open.
It's a sign, the city's mayor explains, of the deeply rooted fear spreading within immigrant communities.
They're afraid to leave their homes. They're afraid to let their children go to school.
Mayor Kali Her says that fear has driven naturalized U.S. citizens, including her own parents, to hide in their homes.
When I talk to them and they're telling me they are more afraid now than they were fighting communism in Laos during the secret war.
Top Homeland Security officials have declared Operation Metro Surge, laser focused on arresting what DHS calls the worst of the worst. Convicted felons and violent offenders accusing Minnesota officials of not cooperating.
Since President Trump took office 1 year ago today, the state of Minnesota has released nearly 500 criminal aliens who were in police or state custody rather than turning them over to ICE.
If ICE has a detainer, they want them to take custody of them, we will facilitate the transfer of custody, period.
Commissioner Paul Schnell oversees Minnesota's Department of Corrections, including the state's prison system.
Does it feel like the Department of Homeland Security is lying when it says that state authorities are not cooperating?
It is fundamentally false. We cooperate with ICE and ICE detainers. We have, as a matter of policy, done that for a long, long time.
The Department of Homeland Security says roughly 450 criminals have been released into Minnesota's streets. And you say you don't know where that number comes from?
We have no idea where that number comes from. We know that we released 84 people.
To ICE.
To ICE that were subject to detainers. And so this notion that Minnesota is not honoring federal ICE detainers is utterly untrue.
CBS News reached out to the Department of Homeland Security for clarity. The department responded just moments ago, doubling down on their numbers. They again are asking Minnesota elected officials to honor all ICE detainees.
So, did anybody notice the terminology switch up right there? How the guy said we will honor all ICE detainers, but what we reported is that these individuals have seen the judge and they have deportation orders, right? I want to know, is there a difference? Is there a difference between ICE detainers and deportation orders in reference releasing to? I just want to know, because I think it seemed like he purposely enunciated the what did he say, the term what did he say, detention or something like that? He used a different term than deportation order, detainers, right? He said if ICE has a detainer, and ICE is stating that they have deportation orders. So I'm wondering, is there a difference between what they are requiring? Yes, there's a key difference between ICE detainers and ICE warrants, often referred to as orders in this context, which impacts how Minnesota jails handle the release of immigrants. God, dog, who's the greatest podcast in the land? Because I just wanted to clarify that. Let's take a look at this real quick, man. I just went to the AI, and I asked AI to clarify for us, is there a difference between ICE detainers and the orders? And it says, yes, there's a key difference between ICE detainers and ICE warrants, often referred to as orders in this context, which impacts how Minnesota jails handle the release of immigrants. I'll break it down to you step by step. Focus on legal distinctions and Minnesota specific policies based on current information. At ICE detainer, Form I-247 is a civil administrative request issued by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, to local enforcement agencies such as jails or prisons. It asks them to notify ICE before releasing the person suspected of being removable, deportable under immigration law. Hold the individual for up to 48 hours, excluding weekends, beyond they will otherwise be released, giving ICE time to take custody. Detainers are not mandatory and not signed by a judge. They are issued by an ICE officer based on probable cause of an immigration violation, e.g. overstaying a visa, unlawful entry. But they do not meet Fourth Amendment standards for criminal arrest. This is brand new breaking news. Local agencies can choose whether to honor them and comply and can expose them to legal risk if the whole violates constitutional rights. But these people are not American citizens. They do not have constitutional rights. What is an ICE warrant? Administrative warrants, two main forms. Form I-200, I-205. These are issued by ICE officers, not judges. Authorized ICE agents only, not local police, to arrest, detain someone for civil immigration. Judicial warrants, these are rarer in immigration cases, but are signed by a neutral judge or magistrate based on probable cause of a crime. E.g., if the immigration violations involve criminal charges, they carry more legal weight, can authorize searches or arrests by local enforcement. In short, warrants, especially judicial warrants, are formal court orders with judicial oversight, while detainers are informal requests without backing. So let's listen to that again. So now, just to give context of why they emphasize the fact that we have listened, and that's why ICE is not backing down off of the fact that no, you did not. It is 500 people, because I just read it. 500 people set free. And I just read to you, it says the jail would let these individuals go free otherwise. And ICE is asking them, hold them for 48 hours or deliver them to us. And what he is saying specifically is they refuse to do that unless you have, this is part of sanctuary city policies, unless you have a signed order from a judge, as if this person is a citizen, as if, like, they want to uphold the constitutional rights of people who don't have constitutional rights.
The new developments in the Trump administration's immigration crackdown. Late today, we received a copy of an internal ICE memo authorizing federal agents to forcibly enter homes without a warrant from a judge. The directive was provided to Congress by whistleblowers who say this goes against standard training in the.
So what it's saying is, do you hear that? I'm so glad we're doing this podcast today. They're using semantics on purpose without the warrant of a judge. But what has Homeland Security, Tom Homan, said again and again? What has the president said? These agents are empowered by the federal government and the Constitution. Local officers are not. I told you, federal law is supreme. Local officers are not even empowered by the Constitution. They have supreme law, an obligation, and a right. Why they are using these semantics is they want the public to be confused. And they want to say, well, the officers are going into the house without a signed order from a judge. And as an American, you should be upset because you don't want people going into your house without a signed order for a judge. But the difference is these are American citizens you trying to scare with this propaganda. These immigrants who have come here during the Biden administration, who have committed crimes, who have deportation orders from ICE and DHS, are not privy to the same rights and laws.
Department of Homeland Security. Tonight, Nicole Skanga has new reporting on how immigrants in Minnesota are responding to what's happening there.
In St. Paul, Minnesota's Hmong Village, empty stalls line a once busy marketplace.
What's a Hmong village, everybody? Why do we have Hmong villages? Why do we have these places that don't welcome regular everyday Americans, where immigrants could hide for years and years, whether or not they're citizens or not?
On a normal day, all of these stalls would be open.
Right? Why they not open now? Maybe we should have people with citizens. Let me be quiet.
It's a sign, the city's mayor explains, of the deeply rooted fear spreading within immigrant communities.
They're afraid to leave their homes.
And this is a mayor. This is a mayor. Advocate. Don't you wish, as Americans, good old white boys, all the white boys and the black boys in the chat, all the moms of the white boys and the black boys, don't you wish America would advocate for your sons in the same way they advocate for people who ain't even
afraid to let their children go to school.
Mayor Kali Her says that fear has driven naturalized U.S. citizens, including her own parents, to hide in their homes.
When I talk to them and they're telling me they are more afraid now than they were fighting communism in Laos during the secret war.
Top Homeland Security officials have declared Operation Metro Surge, laser focused on arresting what DHS calls the worst of the worst. Convicted felons and violent offenders accusing Minnesota officials of not cooperating.
Since President Trump took office 1 year ago today, the state of Minnesota has released nearly 500 criminal aliens who were in police or state custody rather than turning them over to ICE.
If ICE?
So when I show you, when we read and it says that they would be freed unless it says, notice, said the law enforcement says jails and prisons to ask them, notify ICE before releasing a person suspect of being removable. Hold the individual for up to 48 hours beyond when they would otherwise be released, given ICE time to take custody. Hold the individual or give us the individual based on ICE form I-247. When I just want to show that again so you guys know how to interpret what we're watching. So when you hear him say what he says, what he's saying is he's not going to honor that form. He is saying we only honor certain. I don't know why he's being double talking and not being clear. I don't know why he's double talking and not being clear. Just say we're not going to honor the deportation orders. Just say to the American people so they know how to vote. That's what we want. We want an educated electorate. Just be honest with the American people that you're not going to honor the deportation orders, that you only will honor a judge-signed order like these people are citizens. Just tell the American people that you treat them like citizens. You already gave them driver's licenses.
Police or state custody rather than turning them over to ICE.
If ICE has a detainer, they want them to take custody of them, we will facilitate the transfer of custody.
So what I just said today is that there's a big difference between, and I didn't know this, there's a big difference between an ICE detainer. Yes, there's a key difference between an ICE detainer and an ICE warrant, often referred to as deportation orders. What he is saying is that he is not honoring the deportation orders that are administered by a judge, by an immigration judge. Do y'all understand what's being said right here? Let me read. Let me go back. I'll play that video again. I want to go back to what Homeland Security said, just to get clarification what Homeland Security said. In every case, we serve an administrative warrant. Do y'all hear what Homeland Security said? And if one of these people has final deportation orders from the immigration judge and they refuse to leave, they are a fugitive from justice. This is what Homeland Security, this is what the federal government is saying. This is what DOJ, Pam Bondi, Tom Homan, this is what Trump's opinion on the matter is. If they have a deportation order and they have not left, they are fugitive from justice and they are criminals. In every case, we serve an administrative warrant. There's probable cause and the person has had full due process and a final order of removal. Every one of them who DHS serves an administrative warrant, and remember, I called out these numbers, I-205s has had full due process and final order of removal from an immigration judge. But they're saying they're not going to honor that. They're saying they're not going to honor that. Y'all, I just had to clarify that so y'all understand what y'all seeing. In this report, what Minnesota is lying.
A copy of an internal ICE memo authorizing federal agents to forcibly enter homes without a warrant from a judge. The directive.
Minnesota is lying, and they are saying that they will honor, and that's why he said in the beginning that you need an order from a judge. But the problem is these people are criminals with deportation orders, and they don't have to have an order from an American judge because they're not American citizens.
As a detainer, they want them to take custody of them. We will facilitate the transfer of custody, period.
Commissioner Paul Schnell oversees Minnesota's Department of Corrections, including the state's prison system.
Does it feel like the Department of Homeland Security is lying when it says that state authorities are not cooperating?
It is fundamentally false.
How many people put a one in the chat? If I've exposed this person today, got him. If I exposed him today, put a one in the chat. If he's the one, if Paul Schnell is the one actually lying. Why did he double talk? This is when Trump won 15 million and won 17 million. This is why the news gets sued. This is why Trump wins. This is why MAGA is winning. This is why the American people lost faith in the left. Because you could simply be honest with the American people. I think some people would agree with you. There are people who disagree with me. Some people would say, no, Perfect, we want him to get a judge, right? Despite the fact that they're not American citizens, some people might agree with you, but you take out that agency. You remove the agency from the American people by not being fully upfront and honest about the fact that ICE has come forth with 500 deportation orders and you have refused to honor them. You only honor the ones signed by a judge. That's all you had to say. That's all you had to say. Instead, you make up this thing as if Trump and the DOJ is lying, breaking the law, or doing something that is ill will. That's not the actual truth. You are the one lying. You are the one construing the actual truth, and it's actually disgusting. It's actually disgusting when you think about what's actually happening, right? It's actually disgusting when you think about what's actually happening. Man, if y'all ever wonder how some of this shit gets put together and comes out, this is it right here. This is it right here. How some of this stuff gets put together and come out. You got to say to yourself, wow. You got to say to yourself, wow. He could have just been honest, like Perfect is saying. What is the goal of the double speech? What is the goal? The goal is to distract you, confuse you. And I argue to use fear to demigod these issues to scare you to vote for Democrats because they don't really have any policy for you to vote for. It's to demigod these issues and to fearmonger you into doing their bidding, right? To allow people to get away with $19 billion in fraud and us never question the fact that Tim Walz stepped down from governor. Why would Tim Walz step down? Why is Nancy Pelosi not running? Why is Jasmine Crockett not running for Congress? They let you distract you from the actual facts on the ground. People still think somehow the Democrats will flip the House. I don't know why they think the Democrats will flip the House, but despite the fact that they are losing candidates left and right, and there is no champion of the Democratic Party, we saw Trump put Gavin Newsom on timeout. J.D. Vance touts 1 year economic gains in Ohio rally, and then we got J.D. Vance up in here looking like J.D. Vance 2028. Can we get J.D. Vance 2028 in the chat? J.D. Vance out here looking like a president. He only got a couple years. He needs to start running right now. I told you in January that Gavin Newsom was going to run a 4-year campaign, and it's sad. It's sad. He's not focused on the Altadena fires. He's not focused on the reservoir. He's not focused on fire hydrants running dry. He's not focused on homelessness in California and $30 billion lost. He's not focused on $100 million lost after Fire 8 and his wife getting some of that money. He's not focused on billions, $100 billion loss on a speed train that we don't have. Instead, he's in Davos. And then he got sat down. So you waste that time. You're not focused on California, and they didn't even let you speak. But they shouldn't have let you speak because you're not the president. You're the damn governor of California. Go home to California and fix the problems that you have allowed to. I showed here Fisherman Wharf, one of the greatest tourist attractions in the globe, now being torn down. No more Denny's, no more Walgreens, no more infrastructure. And now Alitos, after 100 years being torn down, no more Fisherman Wharf. How many people knew Fisherman Wharf getting torn down? And we got J.D. Vance out here looking presidential. J.D. Vance is at the Ironville terminal. Vice President Vance marked 1 year into Trump's second term by highlighting real wage gains over 1,300% for private sector workers, $18 trillion in new U.S. investments, a lot of that coming from Japan. I talked about it yesterday where Trump met Mr. Toyota, and he's investing over $10 trillion in 5 different states in brand new Toyota plants. 4.3% growth GDP, Q3 2025, he acknowledged changes like high prices and 4.6 unemployment using a Titanic analogy for the inherited affordability crisis and crediting deportations for freeing housing. I showed you yesterday an Iowa mom who used to be Democrat, who is now a staunch Trump conservative, saying she just sold a house and she made a big commission. J.D. Vance now touting freeing the housing market. This speech spits reactions with supporters cheering the comeback and critics mocking the analogy online, while local reporter questioning housing costs. J.D. Vance, if you work hard every single day, you ought to be able to enjoy a good life. Put a one in the chat if you agree with J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance 2028.
And we're fighting better for you every single day. We want you to have enough prosperity to, buy the things that you need.
Let's start it from the top. J.D. Vance doubling down on Trump's 1-year inauguration anniversary, big beautiful bill passed, 2 peace agreements, Gaza, Russia, the Israeli hostages back home, GDP doing great, inflation 2.7. There's a lot to celebrate, ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot to celebrate. Let's get into it. Double tap at the like button. You're watching the Perfect Time Podcast. Let's go, JD, baby.
These are the decisions that way too many families had to take under the Biden administration. And under the Trump administration, we want better for you. And we're fighting better for you every single day. We want you to have enough prosperity to, buy the things that you need, to, buy those medications and put food on the table, but maybe to take a little vacation. Because if you work hard every single day, you ought to be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Maybe you want to buy something extra for your kids. Maybe you want to do something that you couldn't do when you were a kid, because that is the promise of the American dream, that we leave the next generation a little bit better off than the generation that came before.
Amen.
And what we had under the Biden-Harris administration is lower wages. We had higher prices. We had more people struggling to get by and more people who gave up on the essentials instead of buying the things that they needed to buy. What we have under the Trump administration is a totally different approach. And what we're trying to do, and what we've already done a lot over the last year, is made you wealthier, has made your communities safer, has gotten those illegal aliens out of the United States of America, and is trying to rebuild that all-important American dream. So I have a very simple question. Do we, 1 year into this great American recovery, do we want to go back to the failed policies of the Biden-Harris administration?
No,
we don't. So let's keep doubling down on American prosperity. Let's keep doubling down on the American worker. And let's tell Marcy Kaptur and the rest of the crazy congressional Democrats that we are not going back. We are going forward to a brighter future for every single one of our citizens.
Woo! Check this out, man. I love it, JD Vance 2028. This is what I want to say about what he said. Let's bring it home, JD. Let's bring it home, JG. Let's bring it home, JD. How much are you paying for gas? Everybody in the chat right now, put your state and put how much you're paying for gas. Because JD Vance just said you had to give up the essentials. What if you want to buy your kids something? I got kids, and kids come home. They got desires. They got dreams. They don't know how much the budget is. They don't know how much the mortgage is. They don't know that Biden made eggs $12. Double tap at the like button. Double tap at the like button. Yo, babies come home. They want desires. They got wishes. They got dreams. You might want to buy something extra. How much you paying for gas right now? See, if you saving $2 on gas, you might have a few extra dollars to get a Happy Meal, even though they don't need it. You just might want to get it. Get the SpongeBob toy. If you paying, I seen people in the chat paying $195, $225. The thing is, they were paying $4. They were paying $4 last year. They were paying $4 under Biden. So now you got $2 extra. That's $50 extra a week in your pocket. I just heard I don't take Ozempic, but y'all can talk about me in the chat, man. I'll be working out every day like a big bad dog. I don't take Ozempic, but we read the other day that Trump, remember when I talked about Macron, when we talked about taxes and tariffs on Tuesday, and how Macron and how Trump used tariffs in the Green Deal, in the Greenland deal, and now he's not going to impose those tariffs because he got what he wanted. Just like Macron in France, he didn't impose those tariffs because he got what he wanted. It's not a tax, it's a tool. That's why it's called a trade deficit and a trade war. And America hasn't been in competition. But Ozempic went from 1,000, and that's just one example, to 300. So Ozempic wasn't designed to lose weight. There are some people who need the GOPs to save their lives, and it was expensive because it became trendy. Trump has reduced drug prices drastically across the board. Trump has dropped. I'm bringing this up because J.D. Vance said you might want to buy something extra. This is directly socking it to your pocket. For those of you who are putting the states and how much you pay, thank you right now. Thank you right. I love you. Double tap at the like button. I love you. And you putting that, you proud to put $2, $2.25 because you are realizing the savings and you are saying to yourself, damn, I did buy a Happy Meal last week. $8 for a damn Happy Meal. Yeah, I did buy a Happy Meal last week, perfect, because the gas is $1.95. I wouldn't have bought the damn Happy Meal, but I had a few other, I don't know where it came from. It came from because the eggs ain't $12 damn no more. The gas ain't $5 for no apparent, but in California, Gavin Newsom, while he in Davos, can we just take a little, while Gavin Newsom is in Davos, you know what my chat educated me? And I had to tell everybody I knew. I said, tell them high, tell them low, tell them high, tell them low. They said, hey, you know, perfect. Them oil refineries is leaving California. I said, what you talking about? He said, yeah. I looked it up. They already left. They left in 2024. The CEO already left. Chevron, BP. And then when we did the research, 2 oil refineries before that left. There are no oil refineries in California, just one maybe. They all left. California was the only state with this gas. We paid the highest amount for the gas. They just passed a law. 800 brand new laws in January. Gavin Newsom, you should be in California. Why don't you tell your constituents that you just passed 800 brand new laws in California? Gas taxes are going up in California, the state with the highest gas taxes and the highest gas prices. Gavin Newsom and the Democrats, I told you they don't care about you. We got the highest gas, the most unique gas in the globe, and they think we deserve higher taxes, brothers. Like, you have it? On top of those taxes, the oil refinery said, we ain't dealing with Gavin Newsom in California and the EPA. They looked at what Tesla did. Did you guys know Tesla was in California? Trump just said, like, J.D. Vance is at this plant. Trump did his speech from a Ford plant that was going to close under Biden. Now it's open 24/7, making so many cars they can't stop. Making so many cars. And them is good pension jobs. Them is good factory union pension jobs. When they build cars, y'all don't even know what a pension is. J.D. Vance, top of the ball. Did you want to buy something extra? You might want to buy something extra for your family. You might want to buy something extra.
Great American comeback, and that is what I believe. We are 1 year in. We are 1 year in to raising wages for workers instead of declining wages for workers. We're 1 year in to $18 trillion of new investment for the United States of America instead of investment going to every other country but the United States of America. We're 1 year in to getting illegal aliens out of our country so that American homes can go to American citizens, which is exactly where they ought to go. And we are 1 year in to seeing lower inflation and bigger paychecks and more opportunity for the American worker. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that we are on the cusp of the greatest economic year in the history of the United States of America because we're doing something new for a change. We're investing in you. We're investing in American workers. We're investing in American businesses, and we're saying to everybody that the United States is open for business, but only if you invest in our great American people and our great American businesses.
How do you do that? You do that with tariffs. How do you do that? Double tap at the like button, put JD 2028. How do you do that? We want to do business with you, but only if you invest in us. We've invested so much in you for the past 50 years to our detriment. We want to do business with you, China, Japan, France, but only if you honor us.
We're done with the old approach of shipping American jobs overseas and investing in everybody else. We're back to investing in the American worker, and we're not going to stop fighting for you until we return America to the true golden age of great American prosperity.
Come on, man. Put a one in the chat if you with JD Vance, man. Put a one in the chat. See, I said this from the beginning, and I knew the Democrats and the liberals, they only were saying what they're saying because they wanted the Trump economy to fail. They didn't care about your wages. They don't care about brand new factories being built. They don't care about jobs that come with pensions instead of 401ks. They don't understand you may want to buy something extra for your family. Come on, man. Double tap at the like button. JD Vance sounding and looking real presidential, man. Sounding and looking real presidential, man. Sounding and looking real presidential, man. I'm proud of him, man. I'm proud of him.
That way too many families had to take under the Biden administration. And under the Trump administration, we want better for you. And we're fighting better for you every single day. We want you to have enough prosperity to, yes, buy the things that you need, to, yes, buy those medications and put food on the table, but maybe to take a little vacation. Because if you work hard every single day, you ought to be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor.
How many people agree with that, man? Yes, buy the medications, man, but then it's not just like politicians that say, oh, buy the medication, and then don't back it up with the fact that they told Macron in France, you better change your drug prices or I'm going to give you a 25% tariff. Force Macron to lower the drug prices. So when they say drug prices are lower, you can afford more. Gas prices are lower, you can afford more. It's not just typical politicians just saying stuff like the Democrats making promises. Oh, I'll give you this if you vote for me. You already vice president.
In the United States of America. And yes, there is an affordability crisis, one created by Joe Biden's policies. You don't turn the Titanic around overnight. It takes time to fix what was broken. I said earlier that this is something I want you.
So people are upset with him using the analogy of the Titanic. How much did you pay for eggs? So I said, how much did you pay for gas? Does anybody remember? Because JD Vance just said it was a Titanic. How much did you pay for eggs? How much did you? Yeah, JD Vance tearing up Toledo, huh? Swing state, Iowa. Come on, man. Y'all don't even see no Democrats in these swing states thinking about the Iowa caucuses. By the time they come around to 2028, it's going to be too late. JD Vance is from the Midwest. We sewing this up. Double tap at the like button. JD Vance.
Investment going to every other country but the United States of America. We're 1 year in to getting illegal aliens out of our country so that American homes can go to American citizens, which is exactly where they ought to go. And we are 1 year in to seeing lower inflation and bigger paychecks and more opportunity for the American.
Put a one in the chat if y'all with JD Vance, man. Double tap at the like button. First time podcast. Put a one in the chat. JD Vance looking presidential, man. JD Vance looking presidential, man. Jack Smith is on Capitol Hill, man. Only on Capitol Hill. Jack Smith is on Capitol Hill, man. Getting roasted, flambosted, conservatism on highlight and special. Let's get into congressional hearing spotlights. Oh, this ain't even the Capitol Hill Jack Frost. This is something else. That's something else. But let me get the Jack Frost. Let's go to this, man, since we got it up, man. Because I talk about this a lot with the CDLs, and I just talked about the driver's licenses. A House hearing revisited federal rules requiring commercial drivers to read signs, talk with officers, and follow safety instructions in English. Aren't you surprised that that's even required? I'm not trying to sound, biased. I know it's a nation of immigrants and people speak a lot of languages. The only reason I think it should be required, especially for CDLs, which is a higher level of proficiency, is that the highways and byways all are in English. The person that got into that fatal accident in Florida couldn't read English, made an illegal U-turn on the interstate, took some people out. I think it would help if that person would have been mandated. I'm not saying they have to become a citizen if you a sanctuary city, but at least I think American people would be so shocked and surprised that people are not required to read English. I mean, that was a component. When I took the driver's test, how was it even possible to take a driver's exam? How many people are confused about this? How was it even possible to take a driver's exam if you don't read English, right? So new requirements. Let's go to the video, and then we're going to get to Jack Frost.
Do you consider the Obama-Biden administration 2016 rule guidance, which discouraged out-of-service enforcement for English proficiency failures, to be a breakdown in regulatory control over a critical transportation sector?
I do. That decision cost lives. And respectfully, Congressman Crockett, the accident that was cited in the chair's opening statement killed people because that driver did not understand what he was doing. And an 80,000-pound vehicle is much different than a car. It does not stop on a dime. It doesn't turn on a dime. These are very heavy vehicles that have to have people trained and skilled to operate them. And they need to understand the language we speak. Here in America, that's English. I've lived and worked in 5 continents, driven in all 5. Arabic, Chinese, you name it. You have to understand that country's language to understand how to operate a vehicle. It's for the safety of those around you. So that 2016 decision by the Obama administration took the lives of innocent people because it put people out on the road behind the wheel of an 80,000-pound vehicle that should never have been driving. We need stronger enforcement. That rule has been on the books since the 30s. It should be consistent no matter what party you are. If you care about the safety of people driving in your district, then this needs to be enforced in all 50 states evenly. It's simply fundamental. And there is absolutely no compromise when it comes to safety. We don't hedge on any of that. So I want to be very clear. We need to enforce it. It needs to be done by every state. It needs to be done evenly. And yes, the language does matter.
So I think you need to know about this when you go into the voting booth, man. Those of you who live in California, Colorado, sanctuary states that administer CDLs to individuals who don't speak English. Right now, Trump administration has withheld $70 million from California and $20 million from Colorado. And it's because they refuse to implement the changes that the federal government just said that would prohibit people who can't read and write English from getting a CDL. When I bring this up, I think a lot of times people don't know a CDL is different than a driver's license, right? A commercial CDL is commercial driver's license. It's he said 80,000-pound vehicle, and someone has already died, brothers and sisters. I think it's the bare minimum. He's not even saying that the new standard will require them to be citizens. Did you guys hear that part? He's not saying that they will be required to be citizens. He's saying that the federal government is saying enforce the law that they have to, at the very bare minimum, read the English language. Did y'all hear that part? I think y'all might have missed that part.
Do you consider the Obama-Biden administration 2016 rule guidance, which discouraged out-of-service enforcement for English proficiency failures, to be a breakdown in regulatory control over a critical transportation sector?
I do. That decision cost lives. And respectfully, Congressman Crockett, the accident that was cited in the chair's opening statement killed people because that driver did not understand what he was doing.
That's about him. That's just the bare minimum. I think that's just the bare minimum to require you read and speak the language of the road in which you drive upon. And how would Obama, and how does it happen, and how does it get to the point where people actually die before the American people get shocked? Come to my channel, hear me present the data, and be shocked and surprised at the fact that certain states under sanctuary policies that are not constitutional are not abiding by federal law. And it's resulting in American citizens being unalive, man. Y'all double tap at the like button, man. Y'all double tap at the like button, man. You can't make this stuff up, man. You really can't make this stuff up, man. I mean, you really can't make this stuff up, man. Let's go to our boy. Let's go to our boy. It's him again. This is a great, I think his name is Brandon Gill. Up and coming rising star of the Republican Party. Where are the Democratic stars? If you're going to flip the House, I mean, for real, we talk about it a lot. Where are they? So let's go to Jack Smith on Capitol Hill getting eviscerated by young Brandon Gill.
Clause.
I do not, and I want to be clear that the total
You were collecting months worth of phone data on the Republican Speaker of the House, the leader of the opposition, right after he got sworn in as Speaker, all around the time of a major vote. That sounds like a flagrant violation of the speech or debate clause to me, and I think most people agree with me. And Speaker McCarthy had no recourse, did he? Because you issued a non-disclosure order ensuring that neither he nor any of the American people knew about these subpoenas. Is that right?
The toll record, the non-content toll record subpoenas, we did secure non-disclosure orders for those subpoenas.
You did. And let me ask you, Mr. Smith, at the time you secured those non-disclosure orders, was Speaker McCarthy a flight risk?
The non-disclosure order was based on concerns about...
Was Speaker McCarthy a flight risk?
He was not.
He was not. Then why did your non-disclosure order refer to him as a flight risk? It says right here, the court finds reasonable grounds to believe that such disclosure will result in flight from prosecution.
Sir, when securing a non-disclosure order, the risks don't have to be associated.
You think that the Speaker of the House is a flight risk?
The question?
No, this is not your time. This is my time. You think the Speaker of the House is a flight risk? You think he's going to hop on a plane and leave the country?
No, what I was trying to explain is with respect to a non-disclosure order, the risks aren't necessarily associated with the subscriber to the phone. They're the risks to the investigation.
I think that you were using, this was clearly in reference to Speaker McCarthy, and you were using clearly false information to secure a non-disclosure order to hide from Speaker McCarthy and from the American people the fact that you were spying on his toll records. But I've got more, so let's move on. In May of 2023, you also issued subpoenas for toll records of 9 U.S. senators and an additional representative. Is that right?
In May of 23, we did issue...
You did, and there were non-disclosure orders in conjunction with those subpoenas as well, right?
That's correct, consistent with department policy and the law.
So again, nobody would know what you were doing. The senators would, and the representatives would, and the American people wouldn't know what you were doing. Is that right?
Wow.
The toll records that we secured and the non-disclosure orders were consistent with policy and...
And you knew whenever you were doing that there was a risk you were violating the speech or debate clause. Is that right?
The toll record subpoenas that we secured were with the concurrence of the public integrity.
Your own analysis says that you knew there was a risk you were violating the speech or debate clause. I have it right here. This is an email from John Keller at Public Integrity Section to your team. As you are aware, quote, as you are aware, there is some litigation risk regarding whether compelled disclosure of toll records of a member's legislative calls violates the speech or debate clause in the DC Circuit. That's from your own analysis right there. So you did.
Let's get some context right here. Let's get some context of what and why we're here and what we believe. The argument from our side is that Smith prosecutions were timed to interfere with Trump's 24 campaign, labeling them as election interference. They point to Smith's aggressive tactics, such as pushing for speedy trials before the election, as evidence of coordination with Biden's administration to hobble a political opponent. That's why we're watching this. That's why this line of questioning exists. That's why he's asking him about these investigations. In our view, Smith, a career prosecutor with an international experience, he was at the Hague, is a partisan hack handpicked by Garland to deliver indictments. They demand, and we demand, he testify to explain why he pursued Trump despite what they call weak evidence and ignored similar issues with Democrats. Comparisons to Hillary Clinton's email handling or Joe Biden's classified documents. Remember, I talked to you about the Hillary Clinton server. During closed-door testimony in December 2025, Smith defended his work as nonpartisan, stating he prosecute based on same facts regardless of party. We dismiss this as a cover-up and we point to public grilling to force admissions of bias. A core grievance is Smith used his subpoenas and non-disclosure orders, we're just talking about these NDAs when they say this, to nearly 200 Republican lawmakers and staffers during the J6 probe. we contend that this was a deliberate strategy to decepticate the MAGA movement by intimidating Trump's allies in Congress, violating speech and debate protections. He just said he violated those rights. We highlight approvals by judges like Chief Judge Beryl Howell, seen as a liberal, and argue it was unconstitutional fishing expedition. His testimony is needed to probe whether Smith coordinated with anti-Trump elements in judiciary or DOJ suppresses conservative voices. The other claim we have is this fits a pattern of lawfare against Trump supporters during the Biden administration. The RICO case with Fani Willis, Letitia James in the Southern District of New York. We say, including raids on Mar-a-Lago, which they compare to the Gestapo tactics, we want Smith to explain under oath why he targeted Republicans while allegedly ignoring left-wing violence. Let's get back into the video just to give context of what we're watching and why we're watching it. Jack Smith, former prosecutor, stumbling over his justification.
Is with respect to a non-disclosure order. The risks aren't necessarily associated with the subscriber to the phone. They're the risks to the investigation.
I think that you were using, this was clearly in reference to Speaker McCarthy, and you were using clearly false information to secure a non-disclosure order to hide from Speaker McCarthy and from the American people the fact that you were spying on his toll records. But I've got more, so let's move on. In May of 2023, you also issued subpoenas for toll records of 9 U.S. senators and an additional representative. Is that right?
In May of 23, we did issue.
You did, and there were non-disclosure orders in conjunction with those subpoenas as well, right?
Yes.
That's correct, consistent with department policy and the law.
So again, nobody would know what you were doing. The senators would, and the representatives would, and the American people wouldn't know what you were doing. Is that right?
The toll records that we secured and the non-disclosure orders were consistent with policy and
you knew whenever you were doing that there was a risk you were violating the speech or debate clause. Is that right?
The toll record subpoenas that we secured were with the concurrence of the public integrity.
Your own analysis says that you knew there was a risk you were violating the speech or debate clause. I have it right here. This is an email from John Keller at Public Integrity Section to your team. As you are aware, quote, as you are aware, there is some litigation risk regarding whether compelled disclosure of toll records of a member's legislative calls violates the speech or debate clause in the DC Circuit. That's from your.
They admit to the wrong, but he believed he had cover. I bring this up a lot. Why did the Obama subsidies expire? The Democrats never thought Trump would win again. The Democrats believed these efforts would work. You guys got to understand, Trump had multiple assassinations. He was actually shot. Someone died that day. Trump was shot in the ear. Fight, fight, fight in the chat right now. Fight, fight, fight. There were multiple assassinations. 36 felony conviction in the Southern District of New York with Letitia James. We have Arctic Frost. We have Fani Willis with a RICO case in Fulton County. They never thought Trump would be president again, ladies and gentlemen. They thought that they would be able to cover this up. Remember, I reported to you 150 tapes missing in Fulton County and over 315,000 votes went unsigned when legal requirements say in order for those votes to be counted, they have to be signed. They never intended for Trump to ever become president again, to the point of him not even being unalived. 36 felonies SDNY. That's why Letitia James needs to be brought up here just like Jack Smith.
Your own analysis right there. So you did know, didn't you?
Sir, with respect to the item you just put up on the screen, the last sentence states
we're going to get to the last sentence.
Okay.
We're going to get to the last sentence. And you cite case law in here, quote, the bar on compelled disclosure is absolute. Is that right? Or do you think that you didn't have to abide by that precedent?
To be clear, this statement is not from my office. This is the statement
This is your justification for those subpoenas and NDOs that you ordered. This was part of your analysis. It's a cursory analysis. I think it's worth noting. But let's get to that last sentence then. Quote, given my understanding of the low likelihood that any of the members listed below would be charged, the litigation risk should be minimal here. In other words, you're using a novel legal theory, which you knew was novel, has never been tested by any court. You're not charging any of these members. Nobody's going to know about it because you issued NDOs. Nobody's going to sue about it, so sue this. So who cares? We're going to do it anyways. I mean, you walked all over the Constitution throughout this entire process.
Chairman, the gentleman's time's
spying
expired.
on members of Congress, and you know it. It's absolutely disgraceful.
I like that double tapping the like button. He needs to be celebrated. Novel, meaning that no one had ever used this prosecution style before. You know what that makes me think of? Letitia James and the SDNY and them turning a paper crime, a misdemeanor, into 36 felonies. And just like the Minnesota administrator never explaining to the American people that the charge has always been a misdemeanor and that no one never, ever had something like this be turned into 36 felonies before. And then they never go into not only the jury instructions that the judge gave the jury that led them to basically have to come up with a guilty verdict in Trump's 36 felonies. And we would have a RICO trial with Trump if it were not for Fannie Willis sleeping with her Mary and paying millions of dollars to her Mary counsel. Do you understand when we talk about lawfare, when we talk about why he's testifying, that's what took place. It's very sad and sick. Let me go to my next story. Earlier, I talked about Stephen A. Smith watching my podcast. We talked about Stephen A. Smith like regurgitating me word for word. I'm going to play the video for y'all. I love you, Stephen A. Smith. I ain't got nothing against you, brother. We both doing the same. You just make a lot more money than me. Y'all can laugh about that in the chat. You just make a lot more money than me. But this is Stephen A. Smith giving his opinion on Gavin Newsom in Davos.
Gavin Newsom. Respectfully, what are you doing?
Double time, hit the like button. Stephen A. Smith on Gavin Newsom in Davos.
Gavin Newsom. Respectfully, what are you doing? You're the governor of the state of California in the United States of America.
That's what I said.
Why are you over in Davos, Switzerland, talking to folks and speaking negatively about the president of the United States? I have no problem with Gavin Newsom being candid and open about his feelings about our president on United States soil. To go over to another country, Switzerland, to go over there and to be in the presence of other European leaders speaking against the president of the United States. I'm not down with that. Y'all might be, I'm not down with that at all. Say whatever you want here as a governor from the opposite side of the aisle of a state in the United States on American soil, fine. But I'm one of those people, when we go somewhere else, it's America first. You know, our problems, our problems. But we ain't taking dirty laundry outside. You don't go on a world stage to disrespect your own house, which is the United States of America. I don't like that at all. Not even a little bit.
Put a one in the chat if you agree with Stephen A. Smith stealing everything I've ever said on this podcast. Put a one in the chat if you agree with Stephen A. Smith repeating everything that we say here every day. Put a one in the chat. Stephen A. Smith said Gavin Newsom had no wherewithal to be over in Davos. He should have been in California. Let's listen to that again for everybody just coming in. Double tap at the like button. I want to say I love you. Thank you for watching. I love you. Thank you for being here. Bunch of love and unity in the chat. Stephen A. Smith, he's giving his opinion on Gavin Newsom, California governor in Davos.
Gavin Newsom. Respectfully, what are you doing? Gavin Newsom. Respectfully, what are you doing?
What you doing, Gavin?
You're the governor of the state of California in the United States of America.
Right.
Why are you over in Davos, Switzerland, talking to folks and speaking negatively about the president of the United States? I have no problem with Gavin Newsom being candid and open about his feelings about our president on United States soil. To go over to another country, Switzerland, to go over there and to be in the presence of other European leaders speaking against the president of the United States. I'm not down with that.
I agree with Stephen A. Smith. And not only that, he was wrong. Not only that, he was wrong. This is the Democrats turning on Trump. You hear that? This is being reported right here. My God in heaven, they've begun to turn on Trump. This is Davos. This is Davos as we go into Trump securing the Greenland deal. Greenland. They don't like it. No, they don't.
You cannot imagine how painful it was each and every day under the Biden administration to look at what new crazy proposal was being put into place to solve a problem that didn't even exist.
Wow.
I mean, our constant friction at Citadel with the government across umpteen different aspects of our business was exhausting. And to have that literally end on one day, Election Day, just gives you so much energy as an entrepreneur to go back and build your damn business. So the biggest sea change I've seen across American executives has been just like the giant sigh of relief. I can now go and focus on building my business. And that prior administration, we happen to be a creditor of Spirit. Their merger with JetBlue was stopped. Spirit's in bankruptcy today. There were so many decisions that were so poorly thought out in terms of economic consequences. It cost the U.S. economy dearly. I cannot emphasize that enough. And so the Trump administration is making slow progress on deregulation thus far, but the end of the regulatory onslaught has been just an extraordinary boom for American business.
And I can't make this up, bro. I'm so proud to be a man. I'm so proud of Trump right now. Y'all hear, this is Davos. We didn't move to Davos. We about to go into the deal. I'm going to have to come up with another name. I'm going to start saying Iceland. I think Trump was saying Iceland on purpose. I think Trump was saying Iceland on purpose because I can't say the other word. So I'm going to start saying Iceland. But Trump secured the deal. We had threatened tariffs, but Trump came through with a deal. Trump performed very well at Davos. I think you guys have to agree. Trump performed highly at Davos. We secured the deal that we wanted. Let's get into it. I want to shout out Tammy, all of my mods, my subscribers, and my members. Like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to join the channel. When you subscribe, you get a plus sign. When you join the channel, you become a member. I want to just say thank you and I love you to all of my members. It means so much to a content creator because you are the guys and girls and gals who fuel the channel. Without the membership, there is no channel. So I truly thank you all for becoming members and remaining members. Anniversary to all of the members who've been members for more than a month now. Thank you so much, and I love you. Those of you watching who are compelled to hit the like button by double tapping the screen, I want to say thank you. I love you too. If you're also compelled to subscribe and join and become a member, there are some special pricing options that are available right now. My wife, Mrs. Perfect Timing, she's working on some merch, some MAGA merch and some coffee mugs, some, you know, some Stanley style cups and some t-shirts and flags, and I want you guys to participate in all levels of the channel. So I just want to say thank you and I love you. We're going back into Trump and his great success at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. We just heard from Democrats who just admitted that, you know, it's the same story with Elon Musk in California with Tesla. You know how many, we have gang violence. You heard about the crime and the death with that mass shooting in Stockton, California. And then I went into how California is the 5th largest economy because of agriculture. And we have migrant economy in California. We have migrant workers who, from when I was a child, came in. The world's greens are picked here in California. We grow the world's greens. And typically how those greens are picked, your broccoli, your spinach, is by migrant workers. So you have a lot of migrant towns in California that have, some issues that are being dealt with, but people don't understand the difficulties when dealing with migrant communities in agricultural rural California, right? I just wanted to bring that up. Let's get into Trump here in Davos and him securing the deal. And there was a lot of talk about Greenland, and people were worried about Iceland. Let me say Iceland.
Well, we have a concept of a deal. I think it's going to be a very good deal for the United States, also for them. And we're going to work together on something having to do with the Arctic as a whole, but also Greenland. And it has to do with the security, great security, strong security, and other things.
The market, 600 points, getting back a lot of some of the nervousness we had in the last couple of days. The tariffs are off. Nothing happens on February 1st.
No, we took that off because it looks like we have pretty much a concept of a deal.
A deal of ownership, a deal.
Well, it's a little bit complex, but we'll explain it down the line. But the Secretary General of NATO and I and some other people were talking, and it's the kind of a deal that I wanted to be able to make.
Where does Denmark, did they weigh in on what they want, what they would agree to?
Well, I assume they did because he very much represents, he's a strong leader. Mark Rutte. And he, I assume he's been speaking to them. He's been speaking to all of them.
Are mineral rights involved? Is ownership involved? Did the Golden Dome sway people?
I don't want to say yet, but
the Golden Dome was very compelling today when you talked about it.
Yeah, the Golden Dome, and they're going to be involved in the Golden Dome, and they're going to be involved in mineral rights, and so are we.
It's not specific enough to know at this point how long this lasts, whether it's forever.
It'll be forever.
For Greenland at this point.
I love it.
Forever.
I love him.
That's staggering.
It's better than a 99.
This is what, 2 hours after.
Double tap. I love Who's a man with the massive plan? I love this guy, man. Do y'all love this guy, man? Hold on, man. Let's get some details, man. We're going to go back to the video. Man. Let me get you some details right here. Trump announces Greenland framework, pauses European tariffs. Double tap at the like button. Cheers and claps, man. Applaud around for MAGA Republicans. Another victory for Trump, man. Speaking January 21st at the World Economic Forum in Switzerland, Davos, Trump outlined a potential agreement after meeting NATO's Mark Rutte, granting the U.S. permanent access to Greenland areas, to key Greenland areas for security. I just wanted to, that's why I stopped the tape, because it's kind of funny when Trump says forever, like Cardi B. He asked Trump, he said, how long will we have access? Forever. If you with me, you with me forever. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was funny. I just wanted to, I'm going to go back to give you the details, but let's listen to Trump say that again, because I love this guy.
That's staggering for Greenland at this point.
Yeah. Forever.
That's staggering.
That's better than a 99.
This is
forever. Forever, man. Forever, man. Trump is the greatest, man. Trump is the greatest, man. Let's get back into it, man. Trump said forever. But we watched the video, we laugh, we have a good time. Let's get into the minutia so you become an educated electorate. So what the deal really says is, it says the U.S. has been granted permanent access. So, I mean, it's funny, we're laughing about it, but just to get into the minutia of what the document will actually say, Trump makes a joke because he's a great president, he's a comedian, and he says forever. But the actual truth is, the document says permanent access, which does mean forever. It's funny, but that's what the document says. It gives the United States permanent access to key areas for security and minerals, right? He asked about the minerals. Trump didn't want to go into it, and he even gave props. I love Trump. Trump is the greatest, man. Like Denmark and the EU was talking cash shit. They was really talking some, they didn't give a fuck about America. They was on some cash shit, right? They said some nasty things in the last several days. We saw troops being deployed. Remember, Denmark got troops. They said they will fire on America. And then Trump is so politically savvy. He says the prime minister of Denmark is a great guy and a strong leader. Now, remember when I played for you guys, remember when I played the video when Denmark prime minister said, we choose Denmark, we choose EU, we choose NATO, as if we're not the lying share when it comes to money, guns, everything in NATO. There is no NATO without America. America has the most guns, the most missiles, the most soldiers, and the most damn money, power, and motion. But they claim in NATO like they America. Trump ignored all of that. Trump said Denmark has a great and strong leader. It was a great, double tap at the like, but who the greatest president, man? I just love that. I don't know if I would be able to do that. That's why he's the president. Trump outlined a potential agreement after meeting NATO's Mark Rutte, granting the U.S. permanent access to key Greenland areas for security and minerals while sparing Denmark, that's what I would say, the UK, Germany, and others from February 1st tariffs. VP J.D. Vance, Secretary Mark Rubio, and Envoy Steve Witkoff will negotiate the details, including sites for proposed $175 billion Golden Dome missile defense against hypersonic threats. Denmark and Greenland welcome de-escalation, but firmly upheld sovereignty as non-negotiable, with markets gaining $700 billion on the news amid mixed reactions from supporters and critics. We got a deal. We got a deal. Ding, ding, ding. Everybody, ladies and gentlemen, we got a deal. Did y'all know we got a deal? Ding, ding, ding. We got a deal.
For weeks, he's been threatening to take Greenland by force. Europe pushed back hard. Denmark said they'd defend Greenland militarily if needed. NATO allies called it unacceptable. Then today, Trump suddenly backs down, announces a framework deal with Europe. NATO's celebrating. They think they won. But here's what actually just happened. The deal possibly gives America permanent sovereignty over small pockets of Greenlandic land. We're talking military bases on Danish territory forever. Then there's the Golden Dome, Trump's missile defense system.
Forever. Can I get forever in the chat? Can I get forever in the chat? You gotta say forever, hashtag Cardi B voice. Forever. Hey, this is what I gotta say to the Danish Prime Minister. To the Danish Prime Minister in my best Cardi B voice. Forever. How long? Hey, Danish Prime Minister, how long is America gonna be in Greenland? Forever. In your best Cardi B voice. How long is America going to be in Greenland? Forever. Right now, let's go over the details.
Trump just pulled off what might be his biggest deal yet, and nobody even noticed. For weeks, he's been threatening to take Greenland by force. Europe pushed back hard. Denmark said they'd defend Greenland militarily if needed. NATO allies called it unacceptable. Then today, Trump suddenly backs down, announces a framework deal with Europe. NATO's celebrating. They think they won. But here's what actually just happened. The deal possibly gives America permanent sovereignty over small pockets of Greenlandic land. We're talking military bases on Danish territory forever. Then there's the Golden Dome, Trump's missile defense system. Reports say Denmark might be letting America build it there permanently. And the kicker? Mineral rights. Greenland's got the world's 8th largest rare earth reserves. The deal possibly hands America access to mine them. No expiration date. When asked how long this lasts, Trump said one word: forever. So you...
Forever. Hashtag Cardi B voice. How long? Forever. Trump is the greatest. America wins. Greenland done, gone. Money scene, point scene, money gone. Let's go, Trump. Let's go, MAGA. Let's go.
Europe thought they stopped an invasion. Instead, they possibly just gave Trump military bases, mining rights, and missile systems, all permanent. He threatened war for weeks, then called this a compromise. Europe thinks they won, but Trump might have just locked down the Arctic without spending a single dollar on purchase. This looked like his retreat. It's actually his perfect victory.
Perfect victory, perfect timing podcast, double time, hit the like button, perfect victory, flawless victory, perfect timing podcast only, man, that's the greatest president in the world, it's the greatest president in the world. Oh, man, Tammy, where you at, Tammy? Where you at, Tammy? Man, we been getting to that. Tammy, where you at, man? That's a great video. That's a 1 minute video, the caption. So I'm going to play that video again. I'm gonna play that video again. But before we play that video, I want to go to a scary video. Ooh, scary. I'm going to play that video again. But before we play that video, I'm going to go to a scary video. Look at Trump on the polar bear, bringing home the bacon. I bring up the bacon and fry it in a pan. I'm going to go to a scary video. Because Trump, and my audience talked about the significance of Venezuela, the significance of Greenland, Iceland. Let me say Iceland. Hashtag Iceland. The significance of Iceland and the significance of Taiwan. And I talked to you about, I do my analytics, right? My analytics say most of my audience is above a certain age, right? So I talked to you about Web 3.0 and blockchain in the future, semiconductor chips, quantum computer, the CERN collider, the future, right? And why these rare earth minerals are even being discussed. You never heard that shit before, have you? Well, that's because the future is coming. The future is coming. Let me tell you about it. That's why I say this is a scary video. BlackRock's Fink pushes rapid tokenization on unified blockchain at Davos. Fink described tokenization, turning assets into digital tokens as necessary for lower fees, fractional ownership, and instant transfers, pointing to Brazil and India as leaders in digital currencies. He made the remarks during the panel with Citadel's Ken Griffin, tying into BlackRock's 2026 outlook that highlights tokenization alongside AI and cryptocurrencies. With their Bitcoin ETF now at 70 billion amid eroding trust in elites, Fink acknowledged a crisis of confidence at the WEF, where he serves as interim co-chair for 2026. As reactions range from crypto supporters seeing validation to skeptics fearing centralized control. That's why I say skeptics fearing. Some of you might find this dependent, because my audience is of an older age, much wiser than most. So I think you guys might hear something a little bit different. And when he's saying these things, right? I want to find a video that was like 30 minutes. We ain't doing 30 minutes, but let's see if there's like a 2-minute version. Let's see if there's like a 2-minute version. It may not be like a 2-minute version, but let's see what we got here. I want you guys to hear this because it's important, and we're gonna go back to that video about Greenland because this is what we talked about, right? We're gonna go back to that video about Greenland and why these rare earth minerals in Venezuela, Greenland, and Taiwan, and why Trump is making, this is why he's the greatest president in my, you may not know because a lot of baby boomers, the population is full of baby boomers, and I told you the generation under me is dumber than the generation before them, so there's a lack of understanding of where America needs to be poised for this, to be able to be competitive in the future. Right. So I know when I say blockchain, a lot of you are like, I've always wondered what they mean when they talk about blockchain. What is that? And when he talks about Web 3 and when he says all these things, like this is the future. This is why these rare earth minerals and the semiconductor chips that are needed to power the blockchain, to power the supercomputers, the quantum computers, to have centralized currency and global, like it takes a lot of energy. Like y'all don't know how Bitcoin and the blockchain works and how much power and computing. Let's just go. I know I'm talking ahead of you guys, so I don't want to bore you with some of this stuff, but it's kind of scary if you think about it. Let me play.
Well, I think my last words would be, I would encourage everyone to be optimistic and excited about the future.
Good.
And generally, I think for quality of life, it is actually better to err on the side of being an optimist and wrong rather than a pessimist and right.
On that note.
So I don't know why they're playing with me with the video, but let's go to this one. Let's see.
That's better. Thank you.
Yeah, we're going to make this interesting.
How many quotes are you going to want that are going to be after this session?
I don't know. I mean, 5.
Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. It's great to see everybody here. It's been an amazing week here in Davos. Hopefully everybody saw that we are having conversations here. Hopefully everybody agrees. There are some conversations that we may disagree. There's many conversations that we may have agreed, but through those conversations, and I think today's result with a peace agreement earlier today, the World Economic Forum is here to have those conversations, to have understandings, and also resolution. So it's an important component of who we and what we are, and I'm thrilled to have Elon Musk here. He came all the way from California to be here to see all of you. So thank you, Elon.
You're most welcome. I heard about the formation of the Peace Summit, and I was like, is that PIEC? Little piece of Greenland, a little piece of Venezuela.
I like
we
that.
got one.
I like
All we
that.
want is peace.
Okay, I'm gonna. As I said, I'm a pretty proud CEO of BlackRock since we went public. The compounding return of BlackRock to our shareholders was 21%. Since Elon took Tesla public, his compounded return is 43%. This is just another advertisement for everybody, especially for Europeans. This is why more citizens should be investing with growth, investing with their countries. Imagine if a lot of pension funds invested with Elon when Tesla went public, and how much return with all the pension funds that invested side by side with Elon and the growth. So a spectacular return. There's very few companies. Well, I don't think there's any other company as large as Tesla today that has that compounded return. So congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
It's a good measurement.
Well, we have an incredible team at Tesla, and that's the reason.
So I want to get into the dirt, the meaningful component about technology, the possibilities. I want to talk about AI and robotics, energy, space, and the progress ultimately coming down to engineering discipline, scale, execution. And few people, if not anyone, has the experience and the fortitude to confront these issues head on. Not just.
This is the head of BlackRock and Elon Musk at Davos World Economic Forum. Again, this is the head of BlackRock. You heard a lot about BlackRock when it comes to real estate. Trump stopped their grab of real estate, but this is the largest firm in the globe. This is the head of BlackRock, one of the largest firms, the richest people in the world, along with the richest man in the world at the World Economic Forum. You want to hear this. This is real shit.
Just the ideas, but the execution across so many different technologies, Elon, and that's why I thought it was important for us to have this dialogue here in Davos. So you're presently building on AI, on robotics, on space, on energy, all at the same time. When you look across those efforts, what do they have in common from an engineering standpoint?
Well, they're all very difficult technology challenges. We don't want to find out. There is some, and actually, when you look
the car?
Times will be space, and that'll be true within 2 years, maybe three at the latest.
Wow. So looking 10 or 20 years out, how would you describe success with AI or space technology, and where do you see it? Are you more certain what's going to happen in the next 3 years or 5 or 10?
I don't know what's going to happen in 10 years, but the rate at which AI is progressing, I think we might have AI that is smarter than any human by the end of this year, and I would say no later than next year.
Wow.
And then probably by 2030 or 2031, call it 5 years from now, AI will be smarter than all of humanity collectively.
Wow. Elon Musk just said at the World Economic Forum, and by the end of this year, there will be AI thinking machines that are smarter than humans. By the end of 5 years, there will be AI thinking machines that are smarter than all humans put together. Ain't that like the Matrix? Ain't that like the Terminator? It's one thing to have AI smarter than a human. It's another thing for 5 years to have AI thinking machines and robots that are smarter than the whole human existence put together.
We only have a number of minutes left, but I want to humanize you for a second. So there's no speculation that you're
about peace.
Right. I want to, I would frame this question by, you are the most successful entrepreneur, industrialist in the 21st century, maybe beyond. I want to really get this, what inspired you? Who's inspired you?
I want to get to, not to take away from anything they talked about, but I need to get to, I wanted to get to when he talked about the the crypto. This Elon Musk saying he's an alien. But I want to get to the crypto.
The overall goal of my companies is to maximize the future of civilization, like basically.
Elon Musk breaking I'm an alien. Yeah. Okay, I guess they don't want us to talk about it anymore, but it's so weird that they give me that tokenization at the top, and then they don't have the tokenization, and then I had the tokenization video up. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Let's get it together. What do you say about the robots in the future?
I mean, the way to think of it is that if you have a large number of humanoid robots, the economic output is the average productivity per robot times the number of robots.
Right.
And actually, my prediction is in the benign scenario of the future that the robots will actually make so many robots in AI that they will actually saturate all human needs, meaning you won't be able to even think of something to ask the robot for at a certain point. Like there will be such an abundance of goods and services because my prediction is that there'll be more robots than people. So,
but how do you then have human purpose in that scenario?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing's perfect, But,
are y'all
I mean, it is a necessary.
He said more robots than people. Like, how close are we to that now? If we think about the tech, we just don't think about it because they're not that smart, right? They're not thinking. But I mean, that's not far-fetched to say more robots than we are. Because think about every appliance that you have in your house. I got more appliances in this house than me right now. I have this laptop. I have several televisions. All of my televisions are smart. The laptop is smart. The television, even though I'm not in there right now, it's listening. How many people know the smart TVs listen to you? My smart TV, the remote has a microphone on it. The children all the time push the microphone. They don't even turn the channel. My children, they push the microphone on the remote and say, Disney Channel, Peppa Pig, and it goes to Peppa Pig. I explained that I saw a CIA officer on Joe Rogan, and he says, do you guys know how that works? The TV is like your phone. When you turn it on, you say yes and no to all of these things. Well, when you unplug your TV and plug it up, it says, do you give your TV permission? If you don't give your TV permission, then you can't use that remote control. You can't use it as a smart TV. So when you purchase your smart television, you tell it to listen to you. But the CIA agent said it never gets turned off because technology is an open, ones and zeros. That's the way programming works. I go into the background and I open it up. That means it's access. There's no closing it any other time. If it's open access. That means your television is always watching you, whether it's on or off. Your smart television is always listening to you, whether it's on or off. So when he says there's going to be more robots than humans, I got several smart TVs right now that are all listening to me, that are all watching me, despite being off. And I tell you this, if they weren't listening to me, I probably would be pissed. If the television didn't cut on when I say cut on, if the television didn't go to HBO when I said go to HBO, I probably would want my money back and want a new TV.
Like you can't have both. You can't have work that has to be done and amazing abundance for all. Because if it's work that has to be done, then you and only some people can do it. Then you can't have abundance.
Then it's narrow.
It's narrow, yeah. Exactly. So, but if you have billions of humanoid robots, and I think there will be, I think everyone on Earth is going to have one and going to want one, because who wouldn't want a robot to, assuming it's very safe, watch over your kids, take care of your pet. If you have elderly parents.
We saw this movie, Eli. We saw this movie. It's called Will Smith, iRobot. Hashtag iRobot in the chat. We saw, shit. Man, we ain't ready, man.
A lot of friends of mine said they have elderly parents.
We saw this movie, man. Shout out to Elon Musk, man. We saw this movie, man. It's called iRobot, y'all. We saw this movie. It's called iRobot, man.
It's very difficult to take care of them.
Expensive.
Yeah, it's expensive, and there just aren't enough people to take care of there aren't enough young people to take care of the old people.
Right.
So
if you go to Minneapolis, the Somalians got the Somalians got 20 home offices in one office building. So if it was up to the Somalians, we don't need no robots, Eli.
If you had a robot.
My bad. I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it.
That could take care of and protect an elderly parents, I think that would be great. That would be an amazing thing to have. I think we will have those things. So, overall, I'm very optimistic about the future. I think we're headed for a future.
So me too. Let's get to this. I found a video on the blockchain as we talk about Greenland and the minerals.
In India, I think we need to move very rapidly to.
This is the video about why we're having this push, this global push. No one is really talking about, I'm the only one I think talking about it here. Then I see videos after my podcast about people understanding globalization. I saw that great video we just showed about Trump securing the mineral rights forever. Like, why is this important? Why is Trump going after mineral rights and going after oil and going after all these things? It's because of the future. And this is the future.
I think the movement towards tokenization, decimalization, is necessary. It's ironic that we see two emerging countries leading the world in decimalization, in the tokenization and digitization of their currency. That's Brazil and India. I think we need to move very rapidly to doing that. We would be reducing fees. We would do more democratization by reducing more fees if we had all investments on a tokenized platform that you can move from a tokenized money market fund to equities and bonds and back and forth. We have one common blockchain. We will, we can reduce corruption. So I would argue that yes, we have more dependencies on maybe one blockchain, which we could all talk about. But that being said, the activities are probably processed and more secure than ever. I think the movement towards tokenization.
Y'all understand what he's saying? This is one of the richest firms with the richest man in the world, and they are saying digital currency, global blockchain, no more paper money. This is what they just discussed the Greenland deal. They did a deal on Greenland. So this is what they're talking about. If everybody wondering what they're talking about, the World Economic Forum, what's it all about? They're talking about globalization, one blockchain, one digital currency for everybody, making it easier to move money over the weekend. Why can you not do a bank wire transfer on Friday afternoon? Because the banks like to keep the money and build interest over the weekend. If there were digital currency, you could move that money at any time and have access. Remember, we played Don Jr. the other day. So they're looking for global digital currency, global blockchain. The reason I'm talking to you about rare earth minerals is who's going to control the blockchain? Where is it going to be done at, right? Where is the crypto computing that's going to be necessary for a global blockchain? There got to be some nerds in the chat. There got to be some nerds in the chat that understand, okay, it sounds good, right? But what's the logistics? You know, I'm a logistics major, right? How is it done? How do you do that if you understand right now the limitations of Bitcoin? Right now, cryptocurrency is facing limitations because of how much energy it utilizes to do the blockchain, right? Right now. So that's why we need the semiconductor chips and the supercomputers and the AI robots so that we can have this global blockchain even be possible. Because right now it takes too much energy and power, which is why Trump is going around the world like Monopoly, securing the rare earth minerals necessary to make this come true. Let's listen to it again. I don't think y'all really understand why I'm presented this. Let's listen to it again. Y'all don't understand. These is rich people. This is the whole ball game. This ain't billions. This ain't trillions. This is people. They don't even think about BlackRock. This is BlackRock, Elon Musk, Donald Trump, World Economic Forum, and Davos, Switzerland. This is like Bilderberg.
I think the movement towards tokenization, decimalization is necessary. It's ironic that we see two emerging countries leading the world in decimalization, in the tokenization and digitization of their currency. That's Brazil and India. I think we need to move very rapidly to doing that. We would be reducing fees. We would do more democratization by reducing more fees if we had all investments on a tokenized platform that you could move from a tokenized money market fund to equities and bonds and back and forth.
All investments on a tokenized platform. I know people who got Bitcoin and is in the cryptocurrency is going crazy as I play this. A lot of you are like still afraid of Bitcoin. You don't understand what you just heard. Did you hear that? But you have 401ks. So you got to be wondering, so what happens to my 401k? Because I'm a baby boomer. I just retired. Huh? What happens to my pension? Did you all hear what he said? Everything moves to a token digital system, right? You got to be asking, what does that look like for me who's not a billionaire?
To equities and bonds and back and forth. We have one common blockchain. We will, we could reduce corruption. So by reducing more fees, if we had all investments on a tokenized platform that you could move from a tokenized money market fund.
He's saying it real easy because they think about money and investments different than you. He just said all investments on a tokenized. So everybody's going to be doing the crypto dance. All investments, so all of your stock portfolio, all of your 401k would be tokenized, right? And these are the people that can do it. This is not me and you in the chat room just having a little la-di-da at the barbershop. No, this is BlackRock and Elon Musk and the richest people. We got global leaders. We got Donald Trump and we got the Danish prime minister making peace agreements at the World Economic Forum. These are the people who would make the agreements. These are the people who would say, let's do it. And he's saying the urgency is there. They're discussing it because we should have already done it. Do you guys understand what is being discussed at the World Economic Forum? He said India and Brazil, some of the largest economic markets. Y'all know BRICS? Y'all know BRICS, right? India and Brazil have already went digital. The largest populations. We talked about Harley Davidson in India, billions of people. Mumbai, the Mumbai Spider-Man. And he said, we got to play catch up. So if this is what's being, because What do you think they're at the World Economic Forum for? And all you need to be doing is, what does this look like for my portfolio, Dennis? Perfect Time Podcast. What does that look like for me in my portfolio? I don't want to do Bitcoin. Do I get to keep my 401k? I don't want to be managing Bitcoin. I just want to stay retired. What happens to my 401k? That's an excellent question. That's an excellent question. It sounds like they already know, and we're just hearing about what the plan is going to be. Thank God that you're here.
Fund to equities and bonds and back and forth. We have one common blockchain. We will, we could reduce corruption. So I would argue that yes, we have more dependencies on maybe one blockchain, which we could all talk about. But that being said, the activities are probably processed and more secure than ever. I think the movement towards tokenization, decimalization is necessary.
And another thing is the fact that who is saying it is huge. The fact of who is saying these things is huge, right? It's absolutely huge. I had some more I want to share with you about Pam Bondi's successes. Earlier, we talked about prosecution. We highlighted the arrest of BLM agitator, Marxist, who attacked the church on Sunday, Don Lemon, and these individuals violated the FACE Act. And I got some more details for you. Double tap, hit the like button. We're going to follow this story. We're going to follow this story of Don Lemon, and we're going to follow this story of what's going on. Federal agents arrest 2 activists for disrupting Minnesota church service. On January 18th, activists Nakima Levy Armstrong and Shanti Lewis Allen led Operation Pull-Up at City's Church, targeting Pastor David Easterwood, who directs ICE St. Paul field office amid deportation efforts. Attorney General Pam Bondi announced their arrest Thursdays on FACE Act violations and conspiracy. I got the best chat. Before, we faster than Pam Bondi. Y'all, give yourself a dub, y'all. Give yourself a double, y'all, in the chat. A double, y'all. Give yourself a double, y'all, in the chat. Y'all so good, man. Y'all called it out. Y'all called out the statute. Man, don't do no crime in this era, boy. Don't do no crime with the internet sleuths. My chat was on it fast. They was like, Don Lemon, FACE Act. This was days ago. Don Lemon, FACE Act. So I looked it up. I never heard of FACE Act. I hadn't even seen the video. I know it's a viral video. They made me go look up the Don Lemon video. I was surprised, shocked, and appalled. Then we looked up the FACE Act. I said, yeah, Don Lemon violated. Today we played a video. Where's the Don Lemon video? Let me see if I still have that up. Because we talking about the FACE Act, and I was wondering, does Don Lemon look guilty? So now Don Lemon, we played a video of Don Lemon inside the church harassing the pastor. This is Don Lemon outside the church now blocking parishioners. They got to walk out with their hands up. Parishioners are walking up with their hands up. They're feeling accosted by the reporters, right? Violating their rights according to the FACE Act. What do you think of this?
There's a harmless Christian here that wants to praise the Lord with my son, and now I got to go home. I'm sorry that you guys are so angry.
I'm just chronicling. I'm not with the group.
What do I have to say?
Can you understand why they're angry?
I don't understand any of this because I'm a simple man. I'm a simple man who loves the Lord and is a good father. This is what we look forward to, is coming, being with our family and praising Jesus. And that's not something that we have to run away from. So this is kind of a bad day for us. But, we're going to heaven. So that's the best news we got.
Do you understand that some of these folks feel voiceless?
I don't understand because right now I'm so upset right now. I don't really have I'm thirsty and I can't think very clearly. So what I want to do is just say, we love you. My son and I love you guys. And
I'm a journalist. They're activists.
The simplest thing we can say is that we love you guys.
What do you mean, you guys?
Well, whoever's here in this house.
Okay.
We don't distinguish between Christian and non-Christian. We love everyone. We want everyone to come to heaven.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. We want folks to go to heaven. And if we need to talk about these things, then, this isn't the time for that, really.
But don't you think until we go to heaven, if you believe in that there should be some sort of peace here on earth and that people should have agency and we shouldn't be beating people up off the street and we should be abiding by the Constitution?
I think that's just a little bit loaded for me right now. What you're doing.
Why so?
Well, I don't want to interview right now. I don't want to interview. I just want to tell you guys I love you. I don't need to interview right now because I want to be with my son. It's Sunday. It's time for rest and for renewal. I would like to answer your question. I just can't right now.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Double tap at the like button, man. Put a 1 in the chat if you think Don Lemon should be also be in charge. Let's go to the story right now. This is I think it's Nakima being perp walked and being arrested. Homeland Security investigators and FBI agents arrested Nakima Levy Armstrong, who played a key role in orchestrating the church riots in St. Paul, Minnesota. She is being charged with a federal crime under 18 USC 241. That's the FACE Act. Religious freedom is the bedrock of the United States. I agree. Do y'all support this? And Pam Bondi, I support this. Pam Bondi, good job. There is no First Amendment right to obstruct someone from practicing religion. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? This guy, too, y'all been seeing him a lot. They trying to make him famous. I don't even know if I'm going to say his name, but he been charged with conspiracy, to deprive rights of federal crime, violating the FACE Act. He was also involved in those protests at the church. Second arrest has been made. Shanti Lewis Allen has been taken into custody. So these are multiple arrests now. Let's take a look at this video right here.
I know this only because I just did it once.
BLM activists. These are BLM activists who coordinated the city's protest at the church.
Lockup's in there.
Under arrest per Pam Bondi for violating the FACE Act.
We'll bring her in. She'll stand off to the side. I know this only because I just did it once.
She's so big they had to use the handcuff extenders. She's so big they couldn't even handcuff her. She's so big they had to use the handcuff extenders. She's so big they had to use the handcuff extenders.
Lockup's in there. We'll bring her in. She'll stand off to the side.
2 arrests, BLM protesters who organized their church thing, and this guy, and this guy, and this guy.
While children are dragged into concentration camps, you're living real life, nice lives with your lattes, doing absolutely nothing for your Latino and Somali brothers and sisters. You come here to a man wearing a suit. Is a preacher? Did Jesus wear a suit? Did Jesus profit off the words?
This is what happened. I apologize, you guys. I should have been showed you this. I didn't know this is what happened. Wow. They deserve, if I'm at church, I'm at church. What is, I told you this is Marxist. I told you this is not, nothing about this is democratic. This is beyond left and right. I hope the people at home understand. I know you want to hate Trump. He has a F Trump beanie on, but I promise you, anyone intelligent watching this, and I want to say I love you both, Democrat and Republican, this is well beyond left and right. When they go into a church and they do stuff like this, I hope and pray you understand what's going on here. Remember when I talked to you about the pamphlets and I said they did this same thing in Germany. They did this same thing in Germany. We've seen these things before. These are precursors. These are signs. We saw the pamphlets in Germany. We saw the thing about religion, and the propaganda, the lies about what's actually being done, people attacking federal agents under false pretenses. This is not the first time this happened in history. And I apologize that I didn't have this video. I didn't know that this what they were subjected to in that church.
All these comfortable white people who are living lavish, comfortable lives.
All these comfortable white people. This is disgusting. All these comfortable. And why are white people so mad at white people? Remember when I talked to you about the Democrats wanting you to see these issues through colored lenses? If you just look at them for the facts on the ground, you may think differently. You may agree with us. But the Democrats need you to look at these issues through colored lenses. Look at his coded language. Listen to his coded language. Why do the Democrats need to interject race? I haven't used race one time in all of my podcasts today. Why is he interjecting race? Why does he need to say what their race is? Why do they need to be guilty for how they were born? This is what's separating Americans right now. I love my white brothers, my brown brothers, my yellow brothers, my purple and green brothers. We all love each other. It's America. It's united. Why does he want them to be guilty for being white? They didn't ask to be born white. This is kind of sick, brothers and sisters, when you think about it. This is what's causing division because no one asked to be born any of these things. We just God creatures. We just humans. But he wants them to be guilty for being white. And I think that's at the crux of a lot of the violence. Let's listen.
All these comfortable white people who are living lavish, comfortable lives while children are dragged into concentration camps. You're living real life, nice lives with your lattes, doing absolutely nothing for your Latino and Somali brothers and sisters.
Again, race, right? You're white, and because you're white, you should feel white guilt, and you should be helping black and brown. Where's that math written down in the Constitution? And I'm telling you, white people are done with that. And that's why the left is not going to win in 2026, and that's why the left is not going to win in 2028. Simply because you're white, white is bad, you should feel guilty and obligated to help brown and black people simply by the fact that you're white. You don't even get to go to church. No, you white and you rich. I'm going to harass you, and you should feel white guilt. It doesn't exist, brothers and sisters. And anybody who's black and brown waiting on a handout and someone to wipe your ass, just get up. Get up and go to work. I'm tired of this shit, bro. I am tired of the shit. No one owes you shit. And simply because someone is not the same color and race as you does not make them guilty or obligated to help you. This shit is sick, brothers and sisters. This is not America.
Sisters, you come here to a man wearing a suit. Is a preacher? Did Jesus wear a suit? Did Jesus profit off the words? No. Jesus would dine with immigrants. Do not touch me. Touch me again and see what happens. Hey, you can't.
See, threatening people as kids and women in there.
You are a fake Christian. Why are you not standing with your Somali and Latino communities? Why do I not see you out at Whipple every day protesting this attack on humanity?
Somalian communities trying to guilt trip them. They doing what they supposed to do. They trying to guilt trip them.
Where are you? You're sinners. You're pretending to be Christians, but we know you live an easy life. All these comfortable white people.
This is amazing, man. First-hand report, man. Purpose of my podcast, back with the blast. Man, no, and just so y'all know, after watching this, I know y'all, after watching that, I know y'all want to see this. Hold on. I know y'all want to see. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. That's right. He got his just desserts. She got her just desserts. Yeah, man. He got arrested. Pam Bondi is doing her job, man. Shout out to Pam Bondi, man. Is Pam Bondi doing her job?
You know, Pam Bondi, you want to come and arrest me? You want to come and give me charges? So be it. And for all the people giving me death threats, threatening my life, kill me. Go ahead, kill me. Because you know what? As Fred Hampton said, you can kill the revolutionary, but you can't kill the revolution.
Did he just quote Fred? So now we got Puerto Rican Black Panthers, Maynor from the Wakanda. What was the Mexican from Under the Sea in Black Panther Part 2? Namor, I don't know, but it was a Mexican amphibious character. So we got a Mexican leader. the Black Panthers, and we got a white Fred Hampton. He just quoted. I can't make this. And what if I didn't have a video? What if I just told you there was a crazy long-haired white man quoting the Black Panthers, and there was a Mexican amphibious mermaid who was leading the new Black Panther? You wouldn't believe me. You wouldn't believe me. You wouldn't believe me. It's true, though. Wakanda, your black mama. Wakanda, your black mama. Oh, my goodness. Who got the best show on YouTube? This is so entertaining. This is so entertaining.
Entire time. So, you know, Pam Bondi, you want to come and arrest me? You want to come and give me charges? So be it. And for all the people giving me death threats, threatening my life, kill me. Go ahead, kill me. Because you know what? As Fred Hampton said, you can kill the revolutionary, but you can't kill the revolution.
Oh wait, that's baby girl in the back. That's the other bitch. You got arrested. Did y'all hear that? That's the key one right there. Who is this slick hair back? Look at Afro Latino dude right here. They go Nakiba. She trying to hide. You can't miss her. I ain't gonna say what it look like. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna get in trouble. I'm not gonna get in trouble. I'm not gonna say escape from the planet. I'm not gonna say the planet of the, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say it, but you can see the escape in the planet. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Oh my God!
Playing.
They both in jail. They both in jail. They both in jail. They both have been arrested for going in there and harassing them people. And then I don't know if that's her significant other, but another person was arrested. Pam Bondi just announced they arrested someone else. Another looked like a member of BLM, so large that they had to use extenders to place her under arrest. Update, second arrest has been made at my direction. Shanti Lewis Allen has been taken into custody. This is Shanti right here. Another perp walk. Shanti Lewis Allen has officially been charged with conspiracy to deprive rights due to her role in the St. Paul Church riots. The ringleader, Naomi Levy Armstrong, was also arrested this morning. And like I said before, she's so big they had to use the handcuffing standard. Pants couldn't. I think what she was doing here is
lockups in there.
I think she asking them to pull up her pants, and very smartly they didn't touch her because she probably would have sued them, right? She need help pulling up her pants. He don't help. If that was a guy, he probably would have pulled the pants up. He didn't, and she's under arrest. BLM member. BLM live good, man. She's so big they had to use these are handcuff extenders because she can't put her hands behind her back because she's so obese. She can't put her hands behind her back because she's so obese. BLM is a good life, man, and they don't work. And they don't work. Just give y'all more background. Just to give y'all more background, right? Let's get some more victories. Let's get some more victories let's get some more victories. Wow, economics just went on a national television and admitted straight up experts were wrong about the Donald Trump economy.
% growth in the third quarter. We want to also consider the fact that real consumer spending at 3.5%. The economy at a rate 3% or faster, we're probably going to see an end to this dearth of jobs creation. We're going to do a lot better in terms of jobs creation, and that might well lead to quarters where we have the economy growing by at least 4%. I want to add that we economists were horribly wrong on the strength of the economy, especially in the second half of 2025. Many were looking for growth no faster than 1.5%. You point out 4.3% growth in the third quarter. We want to also consider the fact that real consumer spending at 3.5% was far better than what you would expect given this very sluggish pace of jobs creation. Very low jobless claims. That tells us companies may not be hiring, but they are not firing. They're not resorting to layoffs. The economy at a rate 3% or faster, we're probably going.
Good news, good news, good news, good news, good news, good news. Purpose of a podcast with the blast, with the good news, Trump news, good news. Can we see it right now? Trump news is good news. Trump news is good news. Let's go, baby.
Annually. Next Monday, January 26th, tax season officially begins in America. And for many people, it's a dreaded time. It's a moment that they don't celebrate. But this year, there's going to be lots of happy surprises. Thanks to our working families tax cut, tens of millions of American families are going to see bigger paychecks. They're going to see bigger tax refunds. And let me give you a couple of numbers real quick. $4,000. That's the value of the average tax refund for Americans this year. $100 billion. That's the estimated total of 2025 tax refunds for families. $10,000. The average increase in annual take-home pay for working families. Think of it, $10,000 is the average across the country. 15%. The average tax cut for families earning between $15,000 and $80,000 annually. Next Monday, January 26th.
Did y'all know about this? Is all part of the big, beautiful bill. This all part of the big, beautiful bill. Let me read it out to you right now. Tax season has officially starts next week, and this year, working families are getting much-needed, long-deserved real relief thanks to the working families tax cut and the big, beautiful bill, the one big, beautiful bill, which is why Jasmine Crockett and the AOC squad is done. They didn't do shit. Let's get it going. Thanks for working families. Tax cut. Americans will see bigger paychecks and bigger refunds. Nearly 4,000 average refund, over 100 billion paid back to families, about 10,000 more in take-home pay for working families, 15% tax cut for families earning $15K to $80,000. Double tap at the like button. That's right, baby. That's right, baby. Get it done, Trump. Get it done. We're getting it done right here, right now, man. You can't make this up, man. Very proud of the job that it's only been 11 months. Let's play this again just to let you know about how well the economy is doing and what you could have faced if Kamala or Biden was president.
You cannot imagine how painful it was each and every day under the Biden administration to look at what new crazy proposal was being put into place.
No, we were living, we know. We were alive. We know how crazy it was. We had to pay $10 for gas, $20 for eggs. It was crazy. And he would sleep on the stage. We remember.
You cannot imagine how painful it was each and every day under the Biden administration to look at what new crazy proposal was being put into place to solve a problem that didn't even exist.
Say that again.
I mean,
to solve a problem. This is why Tesla left California. This is what Donald Trump said about Gavin Newsom and the California regulations. This is what my chat educated me about more taxes on California gas when we're already the highest tax gas. That's what he means by the Democrats creating a solution to a problem that don't even exist. Why are you taxing Californians even more when they pay the most in gas taxes and gas, period?
Put into place to solve a problem that didn't even exist. I mean, our constant friction at Citadel with the government across umpteen different aspects of our business was exhausting. And to have that literally end on one day, Election Day, just gives you so much energy as an entrepreneur to go back and build your damn business.
That's sad. Because we need them to build businesses to provide jobs. And they said this shit kept going. Remember I gave you the report other day about a 25-year-old Somalian who was frauding Medicaid. And even though he had 70% fraudulent claims, the Biden administration continued to pay him. He did not stop getting paid until Trump took office.
So the biggest sea change I've seen across American executives has been just like the giant sigh of relief. I can now go and focus on building my business. And that prior administration, we happen to be a creditor of Spirit. Their merger with JetBlue was stopped. Spirit's in bankruptcy today. There were so many decisions that were so poorly thought out in terms of economic consequences. It cost the U.S. economy dearly. I cannot emphasize that enough. And so the Trump administration is making slow progress on deregulation thus far, but the end of the regulatory onslaught has been just an extraordinary boom for American business.
All right. Cannot make this up, man. Cannot make this up. That's not me. I talk a lot about the Biden administration, man. This is the World Economic Forum. These are the leaders of the country, the biggest corporations, the richest people in the world. And this is what they've said, right? Can't make it up, man. Can't make it up, man. He said you cannot imagine how bad it was under Biden. That people basically stopped investing, stopped creating jobs. Basically, the economy stopped. That's why inflation was so high. Now we're learning this. One more time, the Greenland deal celebration in the chat.
Trump just pulled off what might be his biggest deal yet, and nobody even noticed. For weeks, he's been threatening to take Greenland by force. Europe pushed back hard. Denmark said they'd defend Greenland militarily if needed. NATO allies called it unacceptable. Then today, Trump suddenly backs down, announces a framework deal with Europe. NATO's celebrating. They think they won. But here's what actually just happened. The deal possibly gives America permanent sovereignty over small pockets of Greenlandic land. We're talking military bases on Danish territory forever. Then there's the Golden Dome, Trump's missile defense system. Reports say Denmark might be letting America build it there permanently. And the kicker? Mineral rights. Greenland's got the world's 8th largest rare earth reserves. The deal possibly hands America access to mine them. No expiration date. When asked how long this lasts, Trump said one word: forever. So Europe thought they stopped an invasion. Instead, they possibly just gave Trump military bases, mining rights, and missile systems, all permanent. He threatened war for weeks, then called this a compromise. Europe thinks they won, but Trump might have just locked down the Arctic without spending a single dollar on purchase. This looked like his retreat. It's actually his perfect victory.
Perfect victory. That's a great way to end the show. Perfect victory. Perfect timing podcast. Donald Trump. Anybody, let's watch it again because the new people coming in case y'all wonder what's going on with Greenland, we're not doing the tariffs. We made a deal at the World Economic Forum.
Trump just pulled off what might be his biggest deal yet, and nobody even noticed. For weeks, he's been threatening to take Greenland by force. Europe pushed back hard. Denmark said they'd defend Greenland militarily if needed. NATO allies called it unacceptable. Then today, Trump suddenly backs down, announces a framework deal with Europe. NATO's celebrating. They think they won. But here's what actually just happened. The deal possibly gives America permanent sovereignty over small pockets of Greenlandic land. We're talking military bases on Danish territory forever. Then there's the Golden Dome, Trump's missile defense system. Reports say Denmark might be letting America build it there permanently. And the kicker? Mineral rights. Greenland's got the world's 8th largest rare earth reserves. The deal possibly hands America access to mine them. No expiration date. When asked how long this lasts, Trump said one word: forever. So Europe thought they stopped an invasion. Instead, they possibly just gave Trump military bases, mining rights, and missile systems, all permanent. He threatened war for weeks, then called this a compromise. Europe thinks they won, but Trump might have just locked down the Arctic without spending a single dollar on purchase. This looked like his retreat. It's actually his perfect victory.
Perfect victory. Flawless victory. Flawless victory. Double tap at the like button, man. Double tap at the like button. How y'all doing out there, man? Y'all know I got Taekwondo today. You know we got karate today, Taekwondo today. A lot of people didn't know what was going on with Greenland. I'm happy to be able to be the one to give you the breakdown. I'm happy to be the one to give you the breakdown all the way down. You know what I'm saying? So thank you guys. Anything else y'all want to talk about? Anything else? Did I get any super chats, any gifts? I want to say thank you. I love you, everybody, for supporting. Thank you for all the thumbs up. Thank you for all the likes. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for all the love. I've asked for some love and support in the chat, and I want to say everybody for spreading the love and support in the chat. Thank you so much to that, man. Thank you so much to that. Thank you so much to that. Thank you so much, everybody. Anything y'all want to discuss? Anything y'all want to discuss? Anything y'all want to go over? Anything I want? I mean, we learned a lot today, man. A lot of interesting stuff, man. A lot of interesting stuff, man. Trump news is good news. Trump news is good news. Trump news is good news. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. And I'm so glad that they exposed those BLM people. I'm so glad they exposed those BLM people. I left a super chat. Teddy said I left a super chat. Thank you, Teddy. Somebody just came and said, what's that all about, man? Thank you to everybody. Thank you for your time, and thank you, everybody. Great show, great show. Trump, U.S. and Denmark has no right to do anything with Greenland. Stop the. We are in 26 too much for. Thank you, everybody, for coming through and supporting. We had a great. Anything y'all want to look at one more time before we go? Anything y'all want to look at one more time before we go? Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith, man, just Stephen A. Smith just regurgitating all my talking points, man. Like, man, you're doing good when you got flattery is the best form of what did they say? Not is the best form of flattery when people mimic you, Man, I've been so tired mentally and everything today, man, the last couple of days. I think I'm getting sick. My little babies, they in school, so they come home. Kids are so disgusting, man. I have a question. Why don't dogs wear panties? I have a female dog. Why don't we when you have a female dog or you have a daughter and a wife, you really understand the importance of underwear. And how much women don't like to wear underwear, including the damn dog. And I was just saying the other day, I had to buy a diaper for the dog. She was in heat. And I was like, this damn dog should have on panties all the damn time. Like, why do we let dogs in our house, not wear underwear? And I'm like, I should invent some underwear for female dogs because I'm tired of this. I feel like I'm outnumbered. I feel like I'm outnumbered in my house, right? But it's like the dog, every time we come in from outdoors, and it's like, I just be wanting, like, I can't bathe the dog every day. I guess because I'm a guy, I don't understand how females' body parts work, but I just want to cover it up all the time. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think it should be out. Like, you just walked and used the bathroom, and she's, dogs should have to wear. I know Bill Burr got a joke about dog balls. If dogs had to wear underwear, like the guys could wear boxers, and then we could have dog balls back again. Like, everybody wants to get the dog fixed and get the dog neutered, right? If the dogs had boxers, no, I bought the diapers because she was in heat. But I'm just saying, like, just every day, domesticated dogs should have to wear underwear, That's my argument, It should be normalized. Like, they got dog shoes. I be seeing people in my neighborhood, they got some dogs that wear shoes. Some of the neighbors laugh, and tease them because they have shoes. But I'm like, I get it. You love your dog. You bought your dog some shoes to protect their paws, So they actually make dog shoes despite dogs having paws, right? So if they got doggy shoes, four matching shoes. if they got dog shoes, all 4 of them that match, I don't know how you make 4 shoes, like left, right. How do you keep up with them? Like, is there 1, 2, 3, 4 on the shoe? Like, does anyone have dog shoes? Like, how do you, like, are they all the same? Is there no left and right, front and back with the dog shoes? It's like so many questions, like, right? So doggy underwear. We need doggy underwear, underoos, underdog. That's what we could call them, underdogs. Humans wear underwear, dogs wear underdogs. Let's come up with the company hashtag. We're gonna go to Petco with the underdogs, because conservative Republicans got tired of dogs walking around with their cock out, So underdogs for the dogs. But this is Stephen A. Smith.
Y'all might be, I'm not down with that. Gavin Newsom. Respectfully, what are you doing? You're the governor of the state of California in the United States of America. Why are you over in Davos, Switzerland, talking to folks and speaking negatively about the president of the United States? I have no problem with Gavin Newsom being candid and open about his feelings about our president on United States soil. To go over to another country, Switzerland, to go over there and to be in the presence of other European leaders speaking against the president of the United States. I'm not down with that. Y'all might be. I'm not down with that.
No, I don't support
at all.
No.
Say whatever you want here. As a governor from the opposite side of the aisle of a state in the United States on American soil, fine. But I'm one of those people, when we go somewhere else, it's America first. Our problems, our problems. But we ain't taking dirty laundry outside. You don't go on a world stage to disrespect your own house, which is the United States of America. I don't like that at all. Not even a little bit.
Stephen A. Smith saying verbatim everything he learned from the Perfect Timing podcast. That's what I said. Gavin Newsom is an idiot. I agree. Gavin Newsom made a fool out of himself. And then the reports I played that, look at what I played about Biden. Look at what I played about the guy in Biden. He said the Biden administration was the worst thing to happen. Huh? Biden administration was the worst thing that happened to jobs and business. I just want to say thank you to everybody watching. Double tap, hit the like button. I see you guys tomorrow. Well, tomorrow, Friday, I don't know. Might do a Saturday show. If I get 1,000 likes, I'll come back tomorrow. What's up, bro? What's up, bro? If I get 1,000 likes, I might come back tomorrow. But might do a Saturday show. I know Obama deported more, and he had more kills. No one ever talks about Obama's drone kills and drone strikes. Obama came to power during the technology. When that technology came out, Obama had the most kills. You could argue that we were in a global conflict, we were in a war, but Obama had the most kills too. Obama, your mama. Hope and change. Barack Obama, the Black Wakanda. Hope and change. Hope and change. All right, you guys. Double tap, hit the like button. This is the Perfect Timing Podcast every day, Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Y'all log in, tap in, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'll see y'all tomorrow at 1 p.m. Salute. God bless America.